Uh, and then oh, it's the House of Fata Morgana, so I call it Fat Mona. What's the link to my own stream? Pause that. Copy video URL. Well, I mean, like, that's the publisher separately. Or do you mean the title? Oh, Manga Gamer? Yeah, that's the publisher. They're weebs. Alright, hold on. Am I allowed to control this with a controller? Is the question. What? Is it bad? Is it snaking? Alright, hold on. Let me put something there to cover it. Oh, I know what I can do. Hold on. Yeah, it's doing the like, yo, did you beat Solitaire on Windows 98? Oh my god, here's a cascade. Alright, hold on. So can I just do this? No, I have to save this first. Hold on, we troubleshoot on this stream. Very good, very yes. Then we go here. What do you mean? Oh, well, I mean, no. I said you're too accommodating. I didn't say you were too nice. Like you put in too much effort on people that are bad people. Like it's not that you're too nice. It's just that your niceness allocated to the wrong people, and I'm like, oh. Exactly. All right. Trying to find a better like nice Maybe so. Uh, you know what? We'll just settle on that ghetto fix unless I want to throw some more Nico faces on it. Uh, I'm gonna hold on. What's a random image that I could toss there that'll totally not ruin the mood? You want me to grab like the sprite that I made? Okay. Where did I even put them? Oh, you know what we're gonna do? Save. And then, where did that save to? Where does it actually save to? My downloads. What file type did that save as? What? Oh, I see. It's because I didn't add a PNG. .png. And then, right, I should be doing this on Studio. I stream. Okay. And then rotate this way. Why did he disappear? What? What did this? Wait, how come he only shows up at what? What? Oh, I got it. Okay, hold on. Move this over. Alt this. Hold on, I'm troubleshooting. I forgot that I can do this. Alright, that means I don't need this for now. I'll hide that as a secret for later. Alright, there, I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it though. The problems ironed out. Ironed out. Alright, I guess I'm not using controller for this. Maybe I can. Oh wait, no, the touchscreen's not working. Normally I'd be able to like control the touchscreen, right? I guess not. Guess not. I guess we're using the moose. Oh, spooky. Oh, what's the sound volume? Like... Yeah. I'll turn that up then. There's a house. Sits beyond the dark dance wood. Like the world fate. Actually, should I move the mouse from being registered? Don't capture mouse. The old mansion appears before you, capitalized. Without realizing it, you instinctively accept as truth the events unfolding before you. House lives in perpetuity, an amalgam of myriad fates and generations. No one knows who said first. That the mansion was cursed. Ooh, burnout. Kay Kahanada. Kay Look at all these people that did the music. Oh man, we're gonna go prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Have mercy on me, O Father. Forgive us the sins of those who trespass against us. Religion. And cast their souls into eternal damnation. That's something that I don't remember. Might be a little, a different region thing, maybe. Different, branch sect. I was looking down upon a corpse. Okay. That's an opening. My own corpse. Oh. Oh man, this is like the opening of Ghost Trick. Completely different tone, and less Missile the Pomeranian. I was afflicted with great despair at the sight of it being dragged to the place of my crucifixion. My soul crumbled, and I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything. However, as I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me. And so, I vowed once more that no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume, I shall come back for you, that I must return to that house. So I ask of you, please wait until this mutilated body arrives there once more. That's a vow. Your consciousness, wavering like a ship at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. Terror. With each new breath, feeling gradually return to your fingers. Master. You could hear the pattering of rain somewhere. Master? And the sound of crackling fire. Wake up. Okay. Oh, there's the crackling of the fire. When you came to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit. Aside from the flickering of the fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows, there were only the pitter-patter of rain on glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness. Darkness. Oh, splendid. You've finally awoken. Someone called out to you. You're about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes. Mado. Good morning, Master. I could ... Good morning. What's the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy. Come now, you must gather yourself. Though I'm glad to hear your voice again. Be a little bit. Simply been waiting for so long for this moment. Tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. You're perplexed. This woman, who looked like a maid, seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile tea leaves, if you would like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since we last met. Tell me, what would you like? I beg your pardon, I allowed myself to get too excited, but I hope you'll be sympathetic. Just utterly elated that I can see you again. The woman appeared to be generally delighted that you'd awoken, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age. Or perhaps the life was more an appropriate word than energy. But the gloom extended beyond the maid, it seemed to encompass the entire mansion. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace and the rose engravings in the amity pillars felt vaguely familiar. But a crushing sense of claustrophobia overpowered that familiarity. It seemed as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet. Oh my. You do not know who I am. Do you not know who you are either? That's quite the predicament. If you cannot remember who you are, then who am I to serve? One's face was pale, almost as though... Faint chill ran down your spine. You're the master of this house, though it would seem you have no memories of such. Quite the dilemma. If you know not who you are, then you are no different than a stranger to me now. We must reclaim the chain of memories. Indeed, you have returned. But from where? That I cannot say. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, Master. That will surely allow you to recall who you are. Freshly awakened gears in your head begin to turn as you mulled over things. Maid had called you the master of this house, but without a single mirror in the room, you have no way of seeing what you look like. Unable to decide, you reflexively nodded. Let's be off then. Oh, it's got that old style, like, hidden menu. And fear not, I am merely entreat you to not let go of my hand. Save. You and the maid. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. Your hand in hers, you followed the maid's lead through the hall. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma hovered within. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. Oh man, just like modern video games. Came across an open window. Beyond it lay nothing but darkness, neither sunlight nor moonlight could be seen. No chirping birds, no rustling grass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only other presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceeded through the mansion. Tippy taps. Keyhole. After some time, you arrived at a double door, the glass within shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded into dull gray. Appeared to lead to a back garden. You could hear children laughter on the other side. Though it is in the state you see now, a beautiful, beautiful garden once lay beyond these doors. The owner of the time enjoyed gathering rare species of rose from all across the world. At its grandest, it seemed every flower was in constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this era of splendor and prosperity? Hee hee hee. I very much hope it is to your liking. Alright, show me this garden. Sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out the door. When you opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows. Alright, show me this sick garden tech. Oh. The first door. Spooky. 1603. My sense of, like, time periods is off, though. Move the cursor to the bottom right corner to display the in-game menu. Yep, I tapped that. The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in this era. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. A period of history could perhaps be described as a symphony of destruction, as cumbersome principles of old came crashing down. Freed from the day-to-day oppression, these antiquated precepts, the people seemed to hark back of the more poetic, expressive ways of old. They took these new blossoming emotions in hand, and with them they wrote literature, painted portraits, composed theater, found love. Even the church, which had maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the changing times, adopting the culture's flowing sense of aesthetic. War would break out not 20 years from then, plucking the ripened era from the tree of history, and that's no concern to us right now. At the time, it was still what people referred to as the Golden Age, a period of furor for all who were there. Let's take the sights. We'll not be changing locations. It's a tale about the mansion, from beginning to end. We will, however, be moving through time. Say, about 8 years into the past. A very wealthy family lived in the house then. The mother, father, brother, and sister all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair. By contrast, mine is the color of a wet crow. See there standing around, I look rather foolish. Well, let me turn down the music a bit. I was happy back then, and what reason did I have not to be afforded the opportunity to attend such a beautiful home? So I poured my heart into serving that fam. Listen closely if you want. That soft fleeting sound can only be a young girl singing, can you hear it? Oh, small. La 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 la. The girl you see, cheerfully picking up crimson roses and singing like a songbird, was called Nellie. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nellie was deeply fond of the house garden, and she would soon spend her afternoons here. Or often, soon. Gorgeous roses gathered from all around the world blooming in the garden. Given the utmost care and had their thorns removed, so young Nellie would not hurt herself naturally. Light brown-haired girl carefully plucked the petals from the rose, gathering them up as she sang. Voice was like music played by fairies, nay, the sight of her was like an angel descended from heaven. Oh dear, please don't look at me like that. I admit I was being rather fanciful. But what is a woman if not fanciful, hee hee. There she sing. Little bird, singing night and day. For your little birdie hearts, sing your woes away. Pretty flowers all around the little birds. And even when the sun comes up, oh dear, Mel, I've forgotten what comes next. Are you listening? Nellie was, a matter of fact, not the only visitor to the Rose Garden that day. Always carried her older brother, Mel. Came. The young siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who in turn pined for his attention. So the two infant children cuddled together, not yet shackled by the fear of the future, was truly heartwarming. Shackled by the sins. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade reading a book. As I am sure you're aware, in their time, books had not been mass-produced yet. What he was reading had been copied by a scribe. Presuming he had borrowed it from the church. The book, having passed through many hands over the years, was visibly worn, but I suppose that just speaks of its importance. It was in fact a Latin grammar textbook he was reading. Mel was big smart. He attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. So at the time, I believe he was capable of reading even advanced texts. Sick. Oh dearest Mel, please. The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hand, she carried a large pile of rose petals. Fucking dunk on him. Though his sister's shadow overlapped with the trees, the boy did not notice. So Nellie puffed her cheeks up, thrust her out her slender arms, and let the petals fall. Oh! Heh. Look, your head is covered in roses, Mel. Oh, Nellie, you got petals on the book. This isn't mine, I can't afford to let it get dirty. It's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. And besides, flowers won't get a book dirty. I must raise the white flag. When did my little lady find herself such a sharp wit? While waiting for you, dearest Mel. I waited and waited, and you didn't so much as glance at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book. Wow, that's soon. That soon. Mother says girls grow up fast. You may be right. In that case, we should do something together before we're all grown-ups. Surely you won't play with me any longer when you become an adult. No, that's not true. I'll still play with you even when I'm grown up. But grown-ups don't play, Nellie. Fine, I'll stay a child forever then. Big. Did you just say you're about to grow up? Nah. You're mean. Sorry, don't pout like that. How about this? To make it up for you, I'll play whenever you want today. Sick. You mean it? I want to play make-believe. Make-believe. I'll be the princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you will be my valiant knight. And then you turn into a prince when you rescue me. A knight can become a prince? Impressive. They can. Knights and princes both have charming, so yeah. Which is why, it must be you, dearest Mel. No one else can be my prince or my knight. While he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed at his rose-cheeked sister's proclaimed prattling, I'm certain he was smiling on the inside. Tsundere. After a few moments, he meekly knelt, bringing him to eye level with Nellie and gently stroking her soft hair. Alright then. You are my princess now. And not just anyone's princess, dearest Mel, but yours alone. So, don't be anyone else's princess but mine, okay? Jeez. Quite the fawner. Is that bad? Does that make you dislike me? Nah, I'm proud to have you as my sister. You mean more to me than anything in the world, my dear princess. Hee hee. Big loves. Forever and ever. Honestly, this far back, I don't think that was an issue they were thinking of. Anyways. Back to the melody. Holding the skirt of her dress in the front, the girl pranced around the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug. Oh, Nelly, don't come crying to me if you trip running like that. But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's excitement. Carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it in the shade, and began chasing. They were the picturesque siblings brimming with hope. At the time of their lives, there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Well, would it not be wonderful if children could stay children forever, Master? As I see it, though, the pleasant, gentle times in our lives have value because they come to an end. Wouldn't you agree? Time continues to flow impartially and without exception. I accidentally clicked outside the window. Please don't play that. Muggis. And as such, everyone's childhood comes to an end. Be that as may, does time flow at the same speed for each individual? Now let's take a trip down the river of time. I would be very much delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately we cannot. Don't let go of my hand. Time to time travel. Oh, no. Alright, older. I'll be on my way then. Priest. Oh, you should stay for longer. Yes, I have an errand to run today. Thank you for your time as always. Would you like the book back sometime next week? Next week or the week after. Hold on to it as long as you'd like. But surely there are others who want to use it. None as sharp as you, Mel. Put yourself in my shoes and you'll understand. I want to give you any advantage you can get. Haha. Oh, you do not believe me? No, I believe you, Father. And I mean to do whatever I can not to disappoint you. That's the spirit. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'm proud to have you as my pupil. Ah, yes. And Mel, do consider what we were talking about. Going to university? Indeed. If you do, I can introduce you to some accomplished instructors. There's very little left for me to teach you, and believe you would make a fine priest. It's an honorable thing, Mel. Devote yourself to the service of our Lord. His face is like, don't sell me this shit. I just wanted to read some books, man. I didn't want to get religion. I'll give it some thought. You'll excuse me then. See you again. Doors are always open. Well, later, loser. Look at that big yikes face. He's just like, ugh. Whether if it's in the service of God or the church, it is an honorable profession. But theology, wouldn't mind attending university, but, you know, I kind of like to do something different, more befitting of the times. For what? I don't know, though. I'm ready to make up my mind soon. If I drag my feet for too long, even father is liable to grow impatient. Mercy me. Beggar, young sir, blessed young sir, alms for the poor. It's beggar. If I'm not mistaken, he's been outside the church since last week. Alms. The way he shakes his head, I can get a glimpse of his forehead under his hood. It's completely bald. Buy yourself some bread with this. Thank you so much. May the Lord bless your soul. Thanks. The Lord. Oh no, Nellie's gonna be cross if I don't hurry home. Carson, looks like it's gonna rain. Master. Oh, thank goodness. You appear to have a firm grasp of your consciousness. I was afraid you'd accidentally let go of my hand. This period of time I truly wish to show you. The boy reading in the rose garden is now a fine young man. Nonetheless, he still bore the same gentle eyes. He would, from time to time, show remnants of that innocent young boy. He was in his own mind, still making the transition into adulthood, I suspect. He frequently visited church on Sundays to participate in Mass and be tutored by the priests. In addition, he also attended private school by the eminent Marquis. Although it was not a school where students had desks and sat in rows, studied at the Marquis' estate. Second and higher education was not the same as it is today, and Mel was considering university. Reese wanted to recruit him to the church, but Mel was having difficulty deciding what to do. That he had such a choice is quite envious, is it not? Privilege. Good afternoon, I'm here to pick up my orders. Ready? Other. Aye, ready and waiting, young Master Rhodes. Oh, don't call me young master, please. I beg your pardon. Cannot seem to get out of the past. My head out of the past, your orders are right here, sir. Mel stopped at a jewelry store in the center of town on his way back. The building was both a workshop and storefront, and the nobles in the area were deeply fond of the master's wares. So skilled that even the royal family had commissioned work from him. As a matter of fact, the wooden sign from the engraved replica of a piece of jewelry is said to be on display at the palace. As artistry flourished in the Golden Age, a number of shops selling luxurious items such as jewelry rose. However, the clientele of the shops comprised a very narrow range of people. May I have a look? Of course, of course. Good, it came out just as I hoped. Splendid work. He. Can I afford to disappoint a loyal customer like yourself? An admirable work ethic. I'm sure she'll love it. Such a kind lad, young master. My boy back home could do well to learn a thing or two from ya. Every man ought to show a woman some cordiality. Coming home to a cold fireplace is a sad thing, isn't it? Ha ha ha. Again, please don't call me young master. Bro, please, my apologies. Take this and be on my way then. Good day. If you find yourself in need of aught else, just let me know. You can make any jewelry you ask for. Come to me and your sweetheart's Dale beer's made. I guarantee the two of you will like all sorts of fun when I give it to her. Please, sir, this is for my sister. You stop that shit. I don't have a sweetheart. Huh? Well, that's a surprise. I'm sure many girls are vying for your hand too, young Mr. Rhodes. Fine family, good looks, charming. And your future's all but... Don't talk about the future, I'll be on my way, dude. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Good day, come by again. Shit's whack, yo. Maybe I'll say I want to study abroad or something. Patient as father may be, that would certainly anger him. I can hear it now. You're wasting your God-given talents, boy. I could renounce my name and rank and go somewhere far away. Yeah, that sounds kind of like a plan Nellie would come up with. We could just elope. Let's run abroad. Back at the garden. As you drew closer to the mansion, the rich fragrance of roses grew more prominent. Over time, the distinctive scent had led visitors to refer to the house as the Rose Manor. So that's probably a play on the flaxen-haired family's last name, Rhodes, which you heard the owner of the jewelry store say just moments ago. And it should look quite different than it does now, no? No thickets of ivy covering the walls, no rotten broken doors to be found. Wonder what the Rose family would think if they saw the house in present tragic condition. So their abundantly blooming roses, a veritable sign of prosperity, long since withered and turned into soil. My apologies, I got a little sentimental there. Let's forget for a moment about our own time. I suppose I stayed out a little too long. Ah well, the sun's still shining high, I'm sure it's... Smack. Oh shit. Spear from behind. Dearest Mel, what took you so long? Where have you been? Been waiting forever. Nellie, you're in the house. Nope, you're taking so long I decided to wait by the gate. You didn't even notice me at all. Is that any way to treat a lady? All that studying's got your head stuck up in the clouds. No. Also, you're heavy. Damn. Could you please get off my back? Heavy? Been gradually reducing the amount of sweets I eat, and I love sweets, to maintain my figure for a new dress, and you call me heavy? I didn't catch that. Were you saying a tongue twister? Such a dimwit, Mel. Jerk. Big. Weakling. And obnoxious to boot. Whatever happened to the delightful little girl who was once my sister? She'd probably throw a fit if I said that out loud. Should you really be outside, Nelly? You are the star of today's event. It's fine. They could call it a birthday party, but it's just about fraternizing. It's obvious what Father's true motives are. We'll be gathering a bunch of boys from good families to look for someone to marry me off to. I have no interest in that at all. Don't be like that, Nelly. They're all here for you. No, they're not. They're here for the position. At least enjoy what you can at the party. Grr. I guess, and besides, it's not completely terrible. Look at this. What do you think? What do I think? About what? About what? Meow. Meow, my new dress had arrived. I'm wearing it. How could you not notice? I did notice it was something I hadn't seen before, but you have so many dresses, Nelly, but this is the dress I made just for today. Look at the colors, they're so pretty. It's the work of a renowned dyer. And this belt is just lovely. See how it comes together to form a butterfly? Oh. I'm just absolutely in love with it. I think I'll be wearing this dress for a while to come. Tell me what you think. Does it look good? Yeah, it does, haha. It's pretty. Hehehe. Some ways, I guess she is still a delightful little girl. Oh dear, Smell, I love you. Oh no, tackle from behind again. Don't jump on me like that. Ah! Oh, you dropped something. What have we here? Wait, hold on, no, you can't have that yet. Is it a present? Give it back. I was gonna give it to you later. I knew it's for me. Oh, just what could it be? Hey, don't open it! What's the big deal? It's gonna be mine soon anyway, isn't it? Oh. Oh, I love it. A rose necklace. It's design. It's from the jeweler the royal family uses. Oh. You had this made just for me. Ah, jeez. Defeats the purpose if you open it before the party. Happiness is always better sooner rather than later, Mel. I think I'll put it on right away. Oh shit, they actually put it on. How does it look? Looks lovely. My prince is still the sweetest in all the land. Don't make such weird noises, bro. Oh, but why not? A prince always knows exactly what his princess wants. And this princess wants some rose jeweler to go with the new dress. Understand? Duh. I don't have it easy playing your prince, Nelly. Might be about time you found a new one. A prince is a prince because you can't find one standing on a street corner. You want to retire, you're gonna have to wait another 10 years. That's a long time. Or if you find yourself a new princess. I'm not so, You're about as romantic as a rock, dearest Mel. But worry not, your adorable little sister will always be your princess. But what could you want? You really allowed to be the judge of that? I mean more than any other girl in the world, do I not? I mean more to you than any other girl, do I not? That makes me your perfect princess. Ha 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 ha. Hey, what the heck is that laugh that's like laughing will be all over soon laugh? You're always telling me I mean more than anyone to you. Yeah, you do. More than anyone in the world, my beloved baby sister. Hee hee hee. Take good care of this. You're happy with it? Then sick. Very welcome. Now back into the house. Can't have a party without the guest of honor. You know if anyone is here yet? Nope. Imagine it'll be here soon though. Were you down at the church again today, Mel? Yeah, there was something I didn't know how to translate, so I went to look it up. Wow, so diligent. Can't say I really like the priest there personally, though. Actually, I kind of feel the same way. That guy's weird. What, really? Why? Well, you know, I have my reasons. So even you don't always like the priest, huh? Let's skip mass on Sunday then. We can go play. No skip at church. As grew the brother, so did the sister. Day, Nellie would be turning 14, and Mel, 3 years her senior, was 17. Saw with your own eyes, so you know how much she has changed. She was always a cute little girl, and she even grew into a beautiful young woman. Though she's only 14, she was well on her way to becoming a fine lady. As for her character, but a little girl has her own charms, so who would say? Drifting down the rivers of time, the two siblings matured into healthy young adults, but the core of the relationship did not change. Nellie was very much attached to Bro, and as much as Mel complained, he still cared deeply for his sister. Around the time the sun had begun to set, carriages started lining up outside as well-dressed aristocrats made their way into the house. As Nellie suspected, the majority of them were boys. Boys. Yes, I understand. You don't need to say anything else more. Rose Manor, right? Okay, we'll go together. Me alone? No, please don't make me. The inhabitants of Rose Manor are surely living quite contented lives. I'm sure they don't remember a thing. Thanks for like the save music. The room with the fireplace was always kept in pristine condition to entertain guests at any time. Walls colorfully decorated with tapestries and stained glass windows gave testament to their great fortune. Servants' first assignment every morning was to clean this room. Pitchers, silver plates, and silverware were polished to shine so they could be proudly put to use at a moment's notice. I don't know many people that actually like have display china that's usable. Like a lot of it just like it looks fancy, but I would never eat off of it, sort of thing. Yeah. But it just feels like a hassle. Like you have like the stuff you actually use and the stuff that you have to look nice, right? Maybe I don't have the mindset of like the rich. But I think the rich even have less of like a mindset to do that. Like I was looking at videos and it's just like, look at all this stuff I have. I never use that. Here's one of 16 bedrooms that we have. I never sleep in here. Like sort of things. It's like we just have a lot of them to show, I guess, to use the money on. Among us. Even for events like their daughter's birthday, the room served as an more important role. Tabletops were removed, so they had ordered new ones, designed specifically for this occasion. Once the banquet had drawn to a close, tables specked with half-empty glass wines and leftover candy fruits were moved off to the side to make room for the festivities. Good evening, Lady Nellie. You're looking particularly lovely today. Nellie, I had these jewels cut just for you. You'll have to let me have this dance, won't you? What's the matter? You look exhausted. These are pretty good. Want one? I know you like sweets. They're apple candied and rock sugar, I think. You disappoint me, dear Smell. What do you think is the matter? They just keep coming and it never ends. It's driving me up the wall. Everyone's just repeating the same lines they've been taught. They're all just think pretty jewels and requests to dance are enough to make a girl swoon. But I think that is true for you, Nellie. Though, why is she disappointed with me? I think I'm done with birthday parties after this year. Probably throw an even bigger one next year. Huh? Why? Well, you know, you're about that age. We are a reasonably distinguished family, so there are a number of different houses that would like to have connections with us. So what you're saying is, do it for the family. No, that's not. I won't date or marry anyone. I have no interest in being used as a pawn in their inter-family politics. Oh, political stream. Pawn, I wouldn't go that far. And I'm sure Father wants to let you choose yourself. You know, someone you actually love. Love? I never thought I would hear you talk about love, dearest Mal. You don't even understand what makes Shakespeare's play so beautiful, and you're talking about love. Fell asleep during Romeo and Juliet, and you're talking about love? We went all the way to the Globe Theatre too. Oh, yeah, it'd be live performance at this point. Damn, that must suck, like, being an actor and seeing someone sleeping. Well, pardon me for being ignorant when it comes to romance and the arts. But you're not. Shakespeare's make-believe stories make you cry like a baby. Anyone would cry at that. You'd have to be crazy to sleep through it. That's not what I'm saying. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nelly, would have no problem finding love. Ah, dearest Mel. We should dance. Oh, song change. Lady Nelly, could I have this? Let's dance, dearest Mel. What? Me? Waiter. Come on, I really like the song. Quit pulling on me. What's the point of us dancing? We're siblings. Mother and father stank daggers at us. But no matter. What day is it today, dearest Mel? Your birthday? Exactly, so I can do what I want. Now attend to your princess as a proper prince. Ah, jeez, how'd I get myself into this? Nelly's skirt fluttered along with her as she stepped in time with the music. It's not the only skilled singer, but a skilled dancer as well. Mel, on the other hand, fumbled over his own feet trying to keep up. Would be hard-pressed to describe his dance as good, even as flattery. The boys of his pedigree were taught to dance as part of their etiquette lessons. He found himself more being dragged around by his sister. Could hardly be said to be attending to her. This is humiliating. I suck. Because his parents had been hands-off in raising him, largely giving him free rein to study and learn what he pleased, Mel looked like a tangled marionette. From throughout the hall, he could hear giggling, uncomfortable chuckling, and people coughing to disguise their laughter. Come now, dearest Mel. If this is the best you can manage, what are you going to do when you find a girl that catches your eye? I won't, so it doesn't matter. Hee hee. Follow my lead. Yeah. Nelly enjoyed time dancing with her brother quite thoroughly at that. Did not matter to her that he moved awkwardly or the guests were giving them cold stares. It's their parents who first cracked under the pressure, just as their father was about to give an exaggerated cough and stop the music. A ruckus suddenly swelled near the entrance. What could that be? Who knows? Whatever's going on, I've been spared. Music came to a stop and the party guests began bustling. Sibling's father spoke up sternly above the noise that quelled the spreading commotion. Ordered the servants to investigate, had the music restarted, and gave a short apology for the interruption, set the party back on course. I went to go check on the entrance with the other servants, as I recall. Oh my, why are you looking at me like that? These are not my memories, but those which dwell within the mansion. You think we should be following what happens next from my perspective, then? That's not what confused you. Your question shall be answered in time. Yeah, I'm probably wondering, how are you this old? Yes. Let's return to our tale. Though the party had fallen still for a moment, Father's decisive action restored the guests' festive mood in short order. It was not by any means the commotion that caused the ball to conclude earlier than planned. Oh, it's a storm. It's a rather loud one, too. Sounds like we're having quite the storm brewing. They lived in a country where the weather was nothing if not unpredictable, and rain was a frequent occurrence here. Stretches of time as skies grew longer as summer approached, the weather was still unstable on the cusp of the two seasons. Had a strong wind that night, which turned raindrops into little spears on the window. Were the party to continue on any longer, no one would be able to go home. Although their father was quite concerned that Nelly had not got on with any of the aristocrat boys, he decided to cut the festivities short. Shit. Thank goodness it ended early. How lucky I am that this blessing for always being such a good growl. Not sure having your own birthday party cut short counts as lucky. But it was no fun. Can't help it if I'm not enjoying myself. For heaven's sake, Arthur was here. I have no interest in dancing with that dunce. Arthur? Who's that again? Someone who was here? Unbelievable. You don't remember anything, do you, dearest Mel? Came over to play a few times when we were little. covered in gross freckles, and he's a huge jerk. Said my hair looked like the color fallen leaves. Fallen leaves! Just thinking about that ugly smirk has me fuming. And yet he acts like nothing happened. He even calls me Lady Nelly, for goodness sake. You listening, Dearest Man? I'm listening, yep, totally. I wonder what the ruckus was earlier. You weren't listening at all. Who cares about that? Sorry, but aren't you curious? There's probably another guest at least. Probably wasn't another guest at least. Maybe a cat sneaked in. Sick. You think so? I do. Enough about that. Would you like to play cards in my room? Seriously, I'm exhausted, dude. It's not even that late. Yeah, fine. Something feels kind of off. Cat. I want to go check. Come on. Hold on. You don't need to drag me. Birthday isn't over, so you're not done attending me. Oh. Show me this mystery cat. Loading screen. Alright. The rain just won't let up. Can't sleep. Wonder what the commotion was about. Oh, for goodness sake. It's all the storm's fault. That's why I can't sleep. It's fretting over nothing. Sure, Nelly was right. It's just a cat. Maybe a dog. Can't sleep. Hardly ever have this much trouble falling asleep. What could this feeling be? Not quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't gonna help anything. Just not gonna fall asleep just lying here. Time to wander into a mystery. Hallway. Yo. The only sound that could be heard in dark corridors was sharp pitter-patter of rain, footsteps, and breathing. He was intimately familiar with the layout of the house. That night, the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth veiled in shadow. No moonlight shone through the windows, so naturally he found himself moving cautiously, despite being his own residence. Keeping the palm of his hand against a chilly wall, he put one foot in front of the other. But to where? He had no way of answering that himself. If he had anything, it was guidance from above, the path of his destination lit by flashes of lightning. Perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his sleep, Mel was slowly but surely drawing nearer to one of the room in particular, which lay through the seemingly endless hallway. Past the living room, its fireplace long since cooled, into another corridor, and then stopped outside an Abigail's bedchamber. Dim glow of a lamp spilled through the crack. A gust of wind is not necessary to make a flame flicker. A person's movements or vibrations in the air from someone speaking, the slightest motion can cause a flame to a fire to quiver. Shifting subtly, as though nudged by an invisible fingertip, I can see light from inside. Is she still awake? Voice. Seemed to be hesitating. It'd be difficult for him not to approach and peer inside. But he had reservations about peeping in another chamber, even if it was his own. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. There was a woman behind that door. What would you do, Master, in this situation? Would you succumb to your curiosity and gaze inside? Or would you respect the owner's privacy? Hee hee. They shouldn't be doing this, but this voice feels like it's calling. Or someone else. I could sense someone watching me at this moment. He succumbed to his curiosity. Stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes open wide, trying to remain invisible. Waving his heart seemed to create ripples in the air, while I pretend not to notice. Yeah, I knew he was there. I could sense his presence and his wavering motions. However, I could not begin to speculate as his true feelings, or how great the surprise this was to him. I, too, am discovering new facets of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of this mansion. But it's not I who is of concern, Master. It's you. You and, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I should be ashamed of myself. Can't look away. Who is that? Skin is so pale you can practically see through it. Is it that white because she is out in cold rain? Hair is white as snow and her eyes, they're like... How do I describe it? Like, my vocabulary truly lacks for situations like this. They look like... blood. Nah, that's just disturbing. Than wine? Nah, more translucent than that. Gemstones? Yeah, gemstones. Her eyes are like rubies. Never seen anyone like her before. What could they be talking about? Most eyes are fixed to a peculiar young woman, with glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and snow-white hair. Her lips are bluish and soft, delicate skin sullied with grime. Her twinkling eyes pointed towards the floor, and her hair a disheveled mess. She was, at a glance, clearly not a lady of means. Tips of her fingertips are cracked with cold, her nails pale from malnutrition, and her garb a little more than rags. However, true beauty is always visible, no matter what it may be hidden beneath, even wrapped in a veil of insalubrity. Even if she thought herself hideous, I wonder what happened to her. Staring. No shame. I apologize for the trouble. Think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to the mistress. Understood. There's something strangely comforting about this house, almost as if I've been here before. If my father were here, I'm sure he would be quite fond of it. Sorry about your father. It's not there's nothing you could have done, I imagine. When he came to our rescue, he was already... Rescue father? Was this perchance what the commotion was about? Stared intently, entranced by the scene unfolding beyond the door. Gaze can often signal one's presence to others more effectively than words. The white-haired girl could likely sense him there as well. Flickered her gem-lighted eyes upward. Staring. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of panic. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby, causing him to recoil to the floor. From the door. His heart was pounding like the rain outside, careful not to make a sound. Took 1 step, 2 steps away. Did she catch you? I'm not sure. It was only for a moment. She can't have seen me. But I didn't have the courage to peek in the room a second time, so he just left. Lamau. But even beneath his covers, he could not erase that girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice delicate as a glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, her pure white hair. Every single detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind, nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart. Who could she be? It is a mystery. Oh hey, full sprites. Or full art. Something the matter? Nah, I just thought I felt someone watching this. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It's called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that's not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within this house. A witch. Not heard of such stories. Probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? Hehehe. Been late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes. My knees. I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name. My name is... Oh shit, do I get to enter this? Oh no, we got a full one. Oh no, it's hidden. We don't know. Secrets. Wake up, Mel. Get up! What? Fucking dunk on him. It's morning. You disappoint me, dear Mel. It's been much long since morning. Didn't see your breakfast, so I came to find out what the matter was. Really been asleep that long? Father's too lenient on you, dear Mel. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son. I know. Before that, what are you doing here? You can't just go prancing into a boy's bedchamber. Leave that to the servants. I did send one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, it's not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time. That was a long time ago. Things are different now. Oh, you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up. Out of bed, sleep ahead. Alright, I'm getting up. So you can see yourself out? Oh my, you look awful, dearest Mel. For someone who overslept, you sure look like you didn't get a wink of sleep last night. You think so? You didn't go out on town last night, did ya? Naughty, naughty boy. I would never do that. You know. You squeaked, I don't think I believe you. I didn't go out last night or anything. I'm tired because you had me playing cards until late. Hey, we weren't playing for that long. Besides, look at me, I got up just fine. Yeah, anyways, shoo. Can't get dressed with you in here. Fine, leaving. Yeet. Oh, I almost forgot. What? Come on, no need to be mean. I'm sure you'll be quite surprised at the news. Oh? At breakfast, which you missed, Father told us. Told you what? I don't really want to say it. Sounds like you want me out of your room, dearest Mel. Please, Nelly. Hey. Got a new maid today from a house we have tied to, supposedly. Never seen anyone like her before. Supposedly coming from a good family, she isn't very graceful, and I've never seen her at social gatherings. But that's not the surprising part. It's that maid, she's peculiar. It's a very unusual appearance, that one. Have white hair? What? How do you know that? Thanks, Nelly. Yeet. Hey, get back here. Goodness sake, what's going on? Bah. Bah. At the time, the majority of servants at the house were men. However, the ladies of the house all had Abigails, so there were several women servants, including myself. The maids, by and large, were selected from the daughters of other esteemed families. As you could say, a sort of training before they enter society. Girls serve at house, even more powerful than our own. The white-haired girl Mel saw before was one such maid. When he heard this, Mel could not sit still any longer. Oh, I didn't really think this through, did I? I don't even know where she is. Guess she's probably mother's maid. White hair, has to be the girl from last night. Deep down, he was having difficulty believing the young woman he had seen previous night was truly here to be a servant. Can you blame him? When he saw her, she was an absolute mess, hardly in what you would envision a girl of class. But he did not seek her out to find out whether that was true. He merely wanted to see her once more, and to be certain whether what he had witnessed the previous night was real or his imagination. And he wanted to have an actual conversation with her. I don't run into Mother, that would be awkward. Around the corner, debating whether or not to head back, and stopped in his tracks. On occasion, wishes do come true. When he turned the corner, he saw her, the same girl, the same white hair. Oh damn, she made it up. Yeah. She appeared to be cleaning the hallway. Placed along the wood carving line so he could start not to miss a speck of dust. The girl wore a pristine dress, the uniform of the mansion's Abigail's. There's no longer any felt to obscure her beauty. All that had converted her pure white hair and glass-like skin was no longer. The one thing that had not changed were her listless ruby eyes. But pardon me. Hearing footsteps, the young woman raised her head, caught Mel's gaze, and brief moment blinked at him in silence. Lord Mel, yes. Your father informed me of you. Did he? I guess I don't need to introduce myself then. Haha. I believe she made an attempt to smile. That was difficult to tell, and she quickly dropped her gaze back to the floor. Flax and Ruby met only the briefest moments. They seemed to be looking at both someone and no one at all. Everyone here truly has the most beautiful color of hair. Did you have business here with the mistress, Lord Mel? I can let her know if you would like. No, I was looking for you. For me? Mel felt as though all the blood in his body began to flow backwards. Could not effectively describe the sensation, but in a word, it resembled panic. On his way to find her, Mel had come up with a number of subjects he wanted to talk about, and he generally had little trouble speaking with others. He'd had less experience interacting with women, this was true, but the time he'd spent around Nell had kept him from stumbling too much. Until then. Yeah, for you. Why would you be looking for me, Lord Mel? I was wondering how you were doing. What? Pardon? Uh, I'm quite fine. Good. That's good to hear. Fool, Mel. What are you even saying? You have more important things to ask, like where she came from. Or to tell her she has pretty hair and eyes. I don't want to trouble her too much. Lord Mel? Yes! Sorry, you suddenly fell silent. Was I, in your way? In my way? No, not at all. What are you up to? What are you up to? I'm cleaning. Oh, yeah, I didn't even need to ask. Ah, you're cleaning! You can just let the other servants take care of the cleaning. You're one of the noble's daughters we took in, right? Then why is mother making... No, I'm doing this job because I want to. The mistress appeared to be busy and I could not simply be idle. But... I enjoy cleaning. Well, if you say so. Say, yesterday. This mansion is truly a thing of beauty. All the many roses in the garden, even the furnishings had a great deal of thought put into that. This family must have a wonderful sense of aesthetic. Oh, yeah, thanks. Did she change the subject on me? I'm delighted to have been given the opportunity to serve at such a magnificent house. Mother and father actually had nothing to do with that, not even the garden. That's all been around since my grandfather's time. This mansion was a complete wreck when he bought it. Oh, was it? Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised he paid money for it. Chandelier in the foyer was shattered and only half attached to the ceiling. Most of the decorations on the wall were broken. I can hardly imagine. This is a marvelous, impressive house. I'm sure he'd be flattered to hear that. My grandfather was a bit of an eccentric. He liked to do things people didn't expect just to watch the looks of surprise on their faces. He's the kind of man who would buy a mansion that was beyond repair just to give it a complete new life. Everyone that had seen the property before it was renovated was astonished. They regretted not taking the opportunity themselves, seeing the transformation it underwent. Hee hee. Huh? I'm just thinking that you're kind of like this house. What? What the fuck did you just say? What do you mean by that? I mean, when you first arrived. Oh, no, never mind. Forget it. She'll figure out you were peeping on her, stupid. She hasn't yet, has she? Yes. This is nothing. The more I think about it, you and the mansion aren't really comparable. Oh. The truth is, it being run down mess isn't the only reason nobody wanted to buy the house. They say, oh, flash of something. That all who dwell within this house shall be met with misfortune. Do you believe it? Hehe. I'm just kidding, it's not actually true. It's all rumors and hearsay, embellished to make the tale more exciting. The rumors only started because of how it used to look. If the mansion truly begot misfortune, then we still wouldn't be here. And it wouldn't explain how my grandfather died. Now he passed away? No, how did he? Inside a lovely lady. Bro, you can't just reveal that shit to your new maid that you're trying to be not weird about. You're so weird about this, boy. Why you gotta be weird, Mel? What the fuck? Bro, you're so awkward. What the fuck? This is just actually awkward. What? Believe it or not, that was how he died, together with a young, beautiful woman. Time ran out while he was making love to her, they say. A rather crude way to go. But he was hardly misfortunate. What I tell you? Yes. Just so you know, I promise I didn't inherit my grandfather's propensity for such base behavior. I'm not a horn dog or nothing, you know. I'm not weird or not. No. I am pure of blood and spirit, dedicated wholly to my studies. Yeah, I don't deal with that shit. While grandfather was off fucking, I was studying the blade and all that. Oh, hey, she left. My apologies. No, it's fine. Anyway, we were talking about the mansion, right? I've always thought it was kind of a strange place myself. The dress you're wearing, it was found here after my grandfather bought it. You don't see that kind of design around these parts, so I'm guessing it was probably imported. Architect is really old-fashioned too, which must have caught grandfather's eye. When he announced his plans to buy it, the entire family opposed this decision, but he refused to budge. Renovation upon renovation gave the mansion new life, but of all his work, he's most fond of the roses in the garden. Collected species from across all the world. Every time he got a new one, he would summon gardeners to arrange and grow them. It took incredibly long to complete. There are even some that wouldn't grow in the climate of this land, but grandfather refused to give up. Truly loved roses. I mean, I don't really get how someone could be so impassioned about them. It's just embarrassing every time he calls the house a Rose Manor, or every time someone calls the house Rose Manor. Perhaps the roses were meant for someone. What? I'm simply speculating. Roses make wonderful gifts, after all. Indeed they do. If you like roses as much as Nelly, then you're welcome to go see them for yourself. Pick as many as you like. If anyone asks, just say I gave you permission. Don't be shy. I'm sure it'll get tiring if all you do is work. Nah, I'm sensitive to sunlight. Oh, that's unusual. Perhaps that explains why you're so pale. Bro, stop talking. Go. Leave. I had no idea. That sounds rough. And your skin's so pretty too. You don't seem terribly surprised. What? No, I'm very much surprised. Or would you prefer a more dramatic response? No, I expected you to find it disturbing. I'm sensitive to sunlight and can hardly spend any time outside. It makes me sound like some kind of demonic creature. Oh, you worry too much. There's not a monster in this world as sweet as you. Yes? Are the other maids teasing you, perhaps? That black-haired one especially, she's, how should I put it, a little frightening. Almost as if she has a steel heart or something. She's impenetrable. Right, she's one of Mother's maids too, isn't she? I'm even more worried. Since you refuse to follow my instructions, you are henceforth hell's spawn. I can imagine you saying that. Hehe. Oh, and again. I'm very sorry. No need to apologize. In fact, I wish you'd laugh more. She's actually very kind to me, and everything she does with incredible precision and efficiency. She looks so young, and yet she has such skill. How long's she been here in this mansion? Actually, she's been here for quite some time. I don't exactly know how long. No one knows how old she is. It's kind of creepy. I never once considered her as such. Sorry, you're right. It's bad manners to speak ill of others. Either way, she still scares me, though. It's like there's no light in her eyes, or like her smiles are all faked. Doesn't make her any less pretty, though. The conversation died. I have to think of something else to talk about. Yes. You can ask me anything. Does the master, your father, Lord Mel, often retire from the mansion? I have not seen him around. Oh, yeah. Father frequently returns home. This mansion's actually our secondary house. Why do you ask, though? I was, just curious, nothing more. Oh? Yeah, what is it? One of the maids asked to see me, so, I should be on my way, if you'll excuse me. What? Alright, see you later, then. Goodbye. Oh, right, one moment. Since you're sensitive to sun, I can pick roses from time to time for you. For you to decorate your room. Lord Mel. That's all. Sorry for holding you up. Why am I so bad at this? She definitely thinks I'm obnoxious. I want to hide under a rock. I want to reverse time and try this over again. Roses are not becoming of me. He is too kind. Bro, you didn't even ask her name. You were just like, yo, my grandfather died fucking some chick. And it's just like, what? Yo, they call this place Misfortune, but my grandfather was getting it on when his time came. And it's just like, what? What? What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, my thanks, father. And I apologize for being late today. Now there's something unusual. You're not being punctual. Maybe next we'll go a whole month without rain. To have mercy on next year's crop smell. You hyperbolize, father. So did something nice happen? Huh? You look like you're in good spirits. Do I? No, nothing. Something did happen, didn't it? Yeah, it's all over my face, isn't it? People prefer an open book to a face of stone. So it is. People may prefer it, but it's not a good trait to have for our social engagements. What? Not the kind of engagements you'll be having anyway. Sorry, don't look so dejected. For now, at least, there's nothing wrong with that. Tell me, what has you such a joyous mood, Mel? You torment me so, father. Taking on another maid. You know how that goes, right? Someone new comes in, things get lively for a while. The excitement's gone to me, that's all. Why are you looking at me like that? Not really, not really. So, what family does the little lady come from? Oh, I don't actually know. You don't know? I was gonna ask her, but I missed my chance. Father's returned home and I can't speak to mother. You see. She's caught your eye, hasn't she? Yeah, she has. But the truth is, you're more than just interested in her, are you not? What? No, truly do enjoy tormenting me. I should get going home now. Mel. Yes? Make certain you find out where she's from. If you're genuinely interested in her, it's your responsibility to determine if she's actually suitable for you. Thank you, excuse me. Oh no, classism. Doesn't matter if she's from an esteemed family or not. But no! I'm not in love with her, I'm just interested. This isn't love, no. Couldn't be. It's me we're talking about. Besides, I hardly even know her. Young sir, blessed young sir, alms for the poor. It's the same beggar as before. I don't think he's moved since then. He looks skinnier than last time. He's gonna have trouble making it through the summer. Should give him something while I still have the chance. Alms for the poor, have mercy. Sorry, but this is all I have to give you. I thank you very much. Blessings upon you. May the Lord bless your soul, young sir. Thanks. Feel bad for him, but that's just the way of the world. Farewell. Sky's really clear. Sun shone fiercely on town this day. As was characteristic of the area, cloudy days and rain were frequent during the season, but the sun almost always took the stage the day after a storm. Cathedral standing tall in the center of town. Stone-paved streets clacking with the pleasant sound of footsteps. The people peering out from beneath awnings to look at the sky. In Mel's eyes, it was as if they were all blessed by the divine light. However, not everyone living in the same land was equally blessed. In fact, the blessed were far outnumbered by the forsaken. Even in their time, would have to come later to be referred as the Golden Age. Elsewhere, back at the mansion, Nellie was causing trouble for the Abigails. On a whim, she decided to redecorate her bedchamber, so she gathered the maid and put on work, shouting orders and demanding and complaining. She had not summoned only her personal servants, but others as well, including the white-haired girl. No, not like that. How many times must I tell you? The tapestry goes by the door. I don't like the carpet's pattern. Is there anything else we could change it with? Hey, who put this ugly vase here? Nellie appeared to be rather irritated, and it was servants who bore the brunt of her frustration. Though if they found this similarly vexing, none of them showed it. She was the girl who spoke her mind, a trait particular in this time of history. Women of the Golden Age were so vivacious, in fact, that it inspired parody and satire in foreign countries. But no matter how hands-off her parents were, Nellie had been born a generation earlier, or a generation later, she likely would have not been able to act so free-spirited. That day, however, Nell did not seem to be her usual self. Though she always spoke her mind, it rarely went beyond childish adorable. It was unusual to see her in such a foul mood, not even a smile on her face. Get rid of all of it. The carpet, the chair, the desk, it's all so ugly. Do we have anything better? If we don't, then order it, have it made. You can do that much, can't you? Hurry up and replace them. Having only arrived this morning, the white-haired girl was unsure what she was supposed to be doing, caught in the middle of a flurry of maids, and furniture, and fabric. She chased frantically, scrambling Abigail's with her eyes, and made attempts to help, but not being familiar with the work, she only ended up getting in the way. Probably felt that everyone would be better off with her not in the room. So when the maids ordered to get new furniture made their way out, Nellie's room, she attempted to follow. You hold the phone for a second. Yes, you, with the white hair. However, Nellie stopped her before she could take leave. But the white-haired girl turned back, bewildered to find Nellie smiling at her. The corners of her mouth turned up in a self-assured grin. There's no trace of timidity or uncertainty in her demeanor. Flaxen eyes seemed to like they would look nice under the light of the sun. Almost the exact opposite of the white-haired girl. Hee hee. I wanted to talk to you, actually. But Mother never was one to share. I asked her to trade maids, but she wouldn't have it. Wait, what do you mean? Which is why I decided to completely redecorate my room. Because then I would need extra hands. But why? Because Mother and Father refused to tell me anything. Why is that? Who exactly are you? Who are you exactly? Where'd you come from? Tell me whose house you're from. Why can't you tell me? If we took you in, you must be from a fairly decent family. As a member of the Rose family, I have a right to know. Do I not? Can't expect you to welcome a girl to the house who won't even tell me where she came from. I don't know anything about you. I haven't seen you at any parties. I came from another country. Another country? What country? Somewhere very, very far away. Oh. North of here? East? West? South? South. It's south of here. Crossed the sea to get here, which is why we have never met before. How far did you travel then? How many times did the sun rise, and how many stormy nights did you face? Innumerable days and nights we sailed, headed even further north. So tell me, Lady Nellie, this is a most wonderful painting. She just tried to brush me off. I wouldn't let her get away that easy. Painting, it's my room, of course it's wonderful. But that one's especially so. You're both so adorable. You, Lady Nellie, Lord Mel. How old were you when it was painted? Huh? Oh, that painting! Goodness, yes, you have a good eye for art. It's magnificent, isn't it? This was done when I was 4 and Mel was 7. You see how we're standing next to each other holding hands? I was too young to remember it well, but Mel looks like he was really embarrassed. Standing there like statues makes for a boring painting. Nell explained brightly. Having completely forgotten she was pressed up against the white-haired girl, she did a twirl, stopping to face the portrait. The many paintings lined the walls of her room. Nell was most fond of the one with her brother. Her and her brother. Two darling siblings standing side by side, the older one smiling kindly and the younger sweetly tilting her head, her cheeks the color of fresh-picked apples. It was like the very embodiment of their happiness. Painting laid subjects bare, you know. Fortune, misfortune, happiness and sorrow enshrined on canvas for all to see. This reflection was not merely limited to the point in time it was made either. Did you know, Master, that paintings are alive? They're drawn with a brush over an extended stretch of time, unlike photographs which capture a single moment. The two have their own individual merits, but a photograph is still, while a painting moves. Portraits reveal both the past and present state of those they depict. Hee hee. Mel and I have always been close. I would sing songs for him, and he would teach me all sorts of things. He's so smart. Nowadays, Mel hardly ever goes on walks with me, making excuses like, I'm an adult now. But we used to spend so much time playing together in the Rose Garden. Let's see. The white-haired girl normally had difficulty smiling, but her lips naturally curled upwards at Nellie's reminisced. Vision of the two happy siblings had probably swelled up in her mind, and I imagine there was a faint trace of envy in her heart as well. Lady Nellie, you love Lord Mel quite deeply, I see. Yes, of course I do. Mel's smart, and he's studious, and he's incredibly kind. For my brother, he gave me the wonderful rose necklace. Oh, for my birthday, he gave me a wonderful rose necklace. The jewelry shop he got it from is famous because even the royal family makes commissions from their workshop. So he had to have ordered it months in advance. Just for me. Hehehe. He's a prince. Oh? Hehehe. Pretty charming, wouldn't you say? That's why I call him my prince. You know what? Mel is a terrible dancer, and he hasn't got his feet on the ground yet. And he's so bad at interacting with girls. So there's like no one else who will say that about him. He is quite the gentleman. I assume women would be drawn to him. Gentleman? Have you met Mel already? This morning, briefly. That reminds me. Mel seemed to know about her, too. What do you think about Mel? As I say, he's a gentleman. That's not what I mean. Don't think I'll let you get away with putting any funny ideas in his head. What? Mel's too trusting. He's pure of heart, so I won't stand you trying to take advantage of him. I would never. So you say, but you actually want to get close to him. I wouldn't dream of it, Lady Nelly. He was very spooky. I wouldn't dream of it, Lady Nelly. He's a man far beyond my reach. You aren't planning on doing something, are you? Not at all. And you don't have any romantic feelings for him, do you? What? Well, do you? I have no romantic feelings for him, Lady Nelly. And you won't develop any? I will not. And with that, Nelly gave a wide, satisfied grin. Even though one has no way of knowing how another truly feels, or how they might in the future. You wouldn't, would you? Now that I think about it, there are plenty of other boys. You getting along with Mel is downright absurd. Indeed. Now, but anyways, back to what we were talking about earlier. Your family, I almost forgot. You haven't told me exactly where you came from or anything about your... Lady Nelly, I brought a new carpet. Just look at the embroidery. The work of a true artisan. I'm simply in love with it. Surely you find it to your liking as well. Wow, you're right. That's a Florentine stitch, isn't it? I wonder whether someone mimicked the style or if it was imported. Either way, great find. Let's hurry and get it laid out. Oh, and we'll see how the colors go with everything. You have to finish decorating quickly so I can show Mel. He'll be so surprised. What wonderful taste you have, Nelly. Hee hee hee. When the other Abigails returned, so did the bustle within Mel's room. As the white-haired girl watched, a faint smile crossed her lips. Perhaps it was from relief at having escaped Nelly's inquisition. Or perhaps... Tee-hee-hees. Ah, Nelly, I'm back. Did you eat something you're not supposed to, my dearest Mel? You're unusually cheerful. I'm the same as always. Anyway. Never mind that, dearest Mel. Take a look at my room. I redecorated it today. So that's what you've been hiding away in all day. Nelly. How's that any different than what you were doing the other day? You were in the church all day. I guess. I will look at your room, I promise, but first, do you know where the new maid is at? Now, don't get any strange ideas. I just haven't yet had the chance to introduce myself, and I thought I should as a member of the family. Except you have, and I know it. Being the eldest son, it would be shameful if she were to pass me in the halls not even knowing who I am, so, you know. Don't ask me. What? But you were in the house all day. She attends to Mother, so why would I know where she is? Though she did help me redecorate my room. You made her help? That's work for the men servants. There's no reason for the maids to do it. Oh, so you're saying I should invite a bunch of men into my room? I go to your room all the time, Nelly, and you were in my bedchamber just this morning. Only men are allowed. Only one man is allowed in my bedroom, my dearest Mel, and that is you. So unless you become a servant, which I will not stand for, I will not ask any of them for help. Oh, Nelly, you ought to be a little bit more... A little more what? If you're gonna lecture me, I won't hear it. What am I gonna do with you, my little lady? What? Why are you looking at me like that? Talked about you, dearest Mel. I'm not gonna tell you what she said. About me? What did she say? Please, Nelly, I beg of you. She said she has no romantic interest in you. Why did that even come up? Because we're both girls. We talk about this sort of thing, like what kind of boys we like and who's the most handsome. Why do you look so downtrodden, dearest Mel? You look like a little sad little boy who can get his crush to notice him. That face is unbecoming of a prince, Mel. Are you interested in her? That's strange, you haven't even met. I am not. It's just depressing to find out that someone you never even met doesn't even like you. That's all. If I'm gonna make my move, I must do it soon. I don't have much time. The master of the house isn't around, so next in line would be him. That painting. Look at this. Despite his near devastation by Nellie's news, Mel's flaxen eyes continued to wander in hopes of catching sight of the girl. Hehe. By now it should be quite obvious to you what Mel was feeling. But the boy himself was having difficulty comprehending the things going through his heart. Emotionally, he was horribly unstable, like a ship without a sail. And still, every time he spotted the white-haired girl, his heart would leap, his whole body jitter with anxiety and excitement. He had never felt anything like this before, and as such, he struggled to keep these strange emotions in check. Whenever he saw the opportunity, Mel would speak to the white-haired girl. In days he was unable to, he either spent in secluded silence or a distracted daze. Love is a curious thing. It has the power to change those who experience it. When he did manage to approach her, he tripped over his tongue. Again and again he talked to her, and again he stumbled. Imagine if you were to take him to see a romance at a theater in his present state, he would cry, just as much as little Nellie. We cry at tragedies because we draw parallels with our own lives. At least, that's what I think. Great tales of romance attract to gravity with the audience only when they are personally familiar with love. In any event, the white-haired girl was, as a result of this, visibly perturbed. She was delighted that he was being so kind to her, but confusion overpowered every other emotion. She appeared to be at a loss for what to do as he clumsily catapulted words and stares at her. But Mel did not back down, though he probably knew not what caused such fiery emotion to erupt within his breast. One's first love, in particular, tends to burn like a wildfire. Are you familiar with the station, Master? Oh. There she is. Is she cleaning? Looks like she's reading. It's now or never. Boo. Huh? sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Lord Mel, you are very clearly meant to scare me. There you go. You piece of shit. Clearly, yes. You didn't even disguise it as hey, what are you reading? You went boo. Mel sucks. Everyone downed Mel. Downvote him. Because you wouldn't notice. You just wouldn't notice me. What are you reading? You look pretty engrossed. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have asked permission. It's fine. You don't need to apologize. Feel free to read whatever you want, and you're welcome to bring books to your room if you'd like to spend more time with them. But I was just amazed that the mansion had a library. Must have been a lot of work to collect all these books. Oh, right, because they're written out manually. There's some pretty old books in here, too. Your grandfather's. Some that he collected, and some even older than that. Take a look at this. I think it's a diary, but it's not from this country. Or this century, for the matter. Maybe a feudal lord? He's complaining about the quality of the harvest. Can this forsaken land only produce over-sour grapes? If only the largest of the, Barney? Maybe Barnier? If only the largest of the Barnier estates were mine instead. The land there is much more suitable for cultivation. There you have it. You can read this, Lord Mel. More or less. I've looked over it several times already, so it wasn't that difficult. Why would such an old book be here? I'm not sure. And all of this were already here when I moved into the mansion. Have you not lived here your whole life? I was born at our estate. but to me and Nellie, this is more like our home. We moved when I was still young, and we've lived here ever since. Nellie and Mother have both grown quite fond of it. Father, though, he goes back to our house because he doesn't like all the roses. By himself. Yeah, well, sometimes Mother goes with him. But for the most part, he goes alone. But don't get me wrong, it's not because they don't get along. In fact, they act more like teenagers in love than grown adults. Almost makes me sick having to watch it. It is a wonderful thing to be so close, no matter how old they may be. True, but still. There are those in this world who cannot be with the ones they care for as much as they wish. I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's right, the book. What were you reading? I wasn't exactly reading. I can't. I do not enjoy reading lots of text, so I was looking at the pictures. Is that so? You seem very cultured, so I thought you would be partial to reading. Perhaps you're actually more like Nellie and eschew your studies. Yes. I wouldn't have guessed. But you looking at pictures. I do. What else do you like? What? What do you enjoy doing? It can be anything. I enjoy being told stories. Stories? Yes, when I was young, my father would tell me tales. What kind of stories did you like? There's this one about an imprisoned girl. Tell it to me. Once there was a little girl. Once there was a girl. She was locked away in a mansion deep in the forest. A mansion with only one window. But the window sat high upon the wall, far beyond her reach. So it was always very dark inside, unlike this mansion. However, the girl did not like the outside world. There was lots of scary things out there, after all. Though she may have been alone in the mansion, she grew comfortable with the darkness in time, so she had nothing to be afraid of. And then, am I doing a good job? Oh, you're doing fine. Keep going. What happens next? Okay. And then the girl grew up. By then, she had already forgotten why she was locked up, but she was content with the darkness. However, her eyes couldn't help but be drawn to a little bit of the light that spilled through the window. Though she was comfortable in the darkness, the sight of the light made her heart race. At first, the girl thought it was because she found it unpleasant, because she disliked the light in the outside. But slowly she came to realize that she was curious about the outside world. What could be happening out there? And for all she knew, the town, the forest, the people, all of it could have changed while she was imprisoned in the mansion. But she had no way of finding out. So the girl decided to write letters and throw them out the window. What began as empty grasping became routine, continuing for several months until she finally was ready to give up. But then a beautiful white dove flew in through the window. Tied to the dove's leg was a letter. Her heart racing, she read the words contained within. It seemed to have been written by a man. The letter contained numerous questions for a girl. It also said that if she attached a reply to the dove, it would bring the letter back to him. She was astonished, but she wrote back to him anyway, caring not to mention where she was. After having exchanged letters a number of times, the two felt close to one another, as though they had known each other for many years despite having never met. And eventually the man said he wanted to meet her? Indeed. The girl was unsure what to do. Should she tell him how she lived? Should she reveal where she spent her days? She was afraid if she did, he would cease to send letters. She was sure he believed her to be a young lady of noble blood, not a girl locked in a house deep in the forest. The girl could not bring herself to write a response. She released the dove through the window with nothing attached to its leg. And yet it returned with another letter written in the man's familiar hand. You must surely have a grave reason for your silence, it said. I would like to know that reason, and I would like to help you, no matter what it may be, you have my word. She deliberated. Though his letters were kind, she did not know this man. He was from the outside. Would he still treat her the same when he met? Did she even want to step outside into the world beyond? What do you think she did? Wrote a letter and agreed to meet him, right? Yes, she did. The girl made up her mind she would write a letter. As always, she tied it to the dove's leg and flew out the window. For some time after, she received no response from the man. This saddened her, but she thought it was for the best. She belonged to her own confident world, her world of darkness, or a confined world. But then one day, the light shone into the mansion. The sealed door had been opened, and in the doorway stood a handsome young man. "I have come for you," he said. The man was a prince from a neighboring kingdom. When the girl stepped outside, before her sat a magnificent carriage, the likes of which she had never seen before, accompanied by many servants. The prince, kind as in his letters, swore his love to her, and the two lived happily ever after. Oh, what a nice story. I'm glad I had a happy ending. The prince. Was there something funny about the story? Nah, that's not why I'm laughing. You ever imagine what it'd be like if a prince showed up for you? Huh? Doesn't have to be a real prince, even just someone like one. Is that something you dream about? Oh, no, I think I'm perhaps a little too old for that. You think so? Nellie still fantasizes about a prince. She's 14. I just assumed all girls were like that. Lady Nellie's prince, that's you, Lord Melno. What? Is it not? I mean, we used to play make-believe a lot when we were kids, but I very much doubt she still thinks of me that way in earnest. When she calls me her prince now, it's mostly in jest. It's just a prank. If it weren't, that would be concerning. That story, do you know if it's a regional tale? One that's been passed down through the ages? I'm not sure. Could very well be with my father's own creation. You might think me conceited, but I think the story might be about me. The girl trapped in the mansion is you? You haven't been locked up anywhere, have you? No, thankfully. I've never been locked up before. Thank goodness. I was about to throw down. But with an appearance like mine, I can sympathize with her being afraid of the outside world. I have at times imagined how wonderful life would be if it were only me and my father. But the girl left the house in the end. If your father really wrote the story, then I believe it contained his hope for you to end up the same way. I don't know what it takes to be a real prince and whisk you away, but I can at least pretend. This boy! So if it was your father's wish for you to see outside world, then surely there's nothing wrong with you getting out and experiencing all that scenery the world has to offer. I want to see the outside too. Or, to be more specific, other countries. So, if you'd like, we, could, maybe go see distant lands together? Oh, dearest Mel, I was looking all over for you. Nellie! Look! Mother brought me these wonderful gloves to wear on walks. The roses embroidered on the wrist are just dresses. Oh shit, you can see that. I should turn off Steam notifications, hold on. Since I'm the window capturing instead of usual. In-game. Let's see. Steam overlay now. Interface. No. Resource. I would have thought it would be an in-game, but hold on. Steam, disable, friend. Open Steam, click Friends and Chat. View friends list. Friends and chat. Notifications. Show notification, joins the game. That. Okay. Get rid of all these windows. Alright, they're beautiful. Huh? You appear to be dizzy, Lord Mel. Are you feeling unwell? No, I'm fine. Haha. Mel was feeling frustrated in his inability to convey his feelings to her. And in his frustration built up over time, he developed I suppose you could call it a severe case of leg sickness. For several consecutive nights, he had been afflicted with a peculiar sensation. A presence in his bedchamber. Oh, that's spooky. Oh, that's spooky music. Death. Death to the unholy one. Death to the heretic. Death to the witch. Kill. Oh, there it is. Man's voice. She's. Why, I never wanted her to die. Was she not eating? Seal off the tower. Understood, no one finds out about this. How can you be so calm? Don't you understand what you've done? Ha, pinning the blame on me. How nice it must be to distort reality with panic. You're just as guilty as any of us. I never wanted her to die. Muggies. The witch killed her. The blood of the witch killed my... Oh, there's like angry face on this side. It was like a line, like an eye face. A dream? What was that dream? It was horribly unsettling. I was holding someone, a girl I cared dearly for, in my arms, and she was limp. It was almost as if she was dead. I've been having lots of really unpleasant dreams lately. I can't stop shaking. Why would I have such a dream? I feel sick. Back to sleep. But I wonder, who was that girl? I can sense someone standing beyond my door. There's someone there. It's like they're watching me. It's just my imagination. Can't move. What do you want? Go away. It's growing fainter. Is this truly what your story meant, Father? But such a magnificent garden. Something we could never have had. Are my intentions misguided? What a beautiful white rose. You know, you could have sneaked into the room rather easily then. No one was watching? How long have you... Oh, you didn't pay me any mind. Shall not condemn you, no matter what you might do. Rather, I'm on your side. I was not going to do anything. Oh, is that so? Then perhaps you were out for a late night stroll. I imagine you have less difficulties going outside at night. I beg your pardon, I will return to the mansion immediately. Oh yes, that reminds me. It's the middle of the night when the grocer's servant broke into their safe. News of that spread quite far. I'm sure you would have heard about it. Oh. Although, was Jemash imprisoned? Dear me, I'm a troubling remembering. But worry not, if you wish for it, the mansion shall provide. You're in no danger whatsoever of getting caught. You said that a witch lives in this mansion, did you not? I did. Does that sound perhaps a bit archaic to you? No, I believe those rumors mockingly refer to me. Oh my. I've been accused of being a witch before. Which is amusing. I don't have any magical powers. Simply have an unusual appearance. Dot dot dot. My, what a lovely shade of red. Oh, the flower turned red. From white. The rose. Is something the matter? This rose. The rose was white. Until I took it in my hand. Heh, is that so? I apologize, I must sound mad. I'm sure I was just mistaken. Couldn't possibly have changed. I wonder. Yes. Did the girl locked in the mansion become a princess? What? We should lock up and head to bed. Make sure all the shutters close nice and tight. And then draw the bar on the front door. Alright, well, you doing some sus shit. I mean, she was clearly here for some sus shit, and then the maid is just encouraging her. Like, yo, let's do this crime, yo. Let's get this bread. Slowly but surely, time trekked onward, everyone else working towards their own individual goal. Each early summer breeze that blew through the garden was like God's hallowed breath, carrying the flowers' fragrance in through Rose Manor's windows. So any time could be stopped, and the beautiful era made to live on through eternity. As usual, Mel's eyes were chasing the white-haired girl, and Nellie pursed her lips in frustration at him. But she was rather still docile. Even taking into account how self-centered she behaved, her temper, Nellie's fits were no more worse than a playful kitten. See, at the very moment, our lovely little feline had her claws poised to swat at a flaxen-haired young man. Hehehe. Mel, you promised me, have you forgotten? I haven't forgotten, I'm just asking if we can go another day. Another day? This isn't something that happens every day. I've been looking forward to tonight's performance for so long. There's nothing I can do about that. We're having a gathering at the priest's home tonight. Several high-rank officers have come up from the mainland just for this. Who cares? I care. You know, Nellie, it doesn't have to be me that goes with you. No, I want to go with you, Mel. You've been so distant, lady, dearest Mel. You refuse to do anything with me. Not true. Tell me, can't go today, when can you go? When you'll be willing to go out with me? When you'll be willing to play cards with me, to have tea together? I can't make any promises. I have things to do, obligations. And Nellie, you're almost an adult yourself. Stop acting like a child. I'm not an adult, I'm still a kid. If it means I don't get to play with you anymore, dearest Mel, then I don't want to be an adult. Nellie, you can't. Lady Nellie, the master wishes to speak with you. Huh? Father does? What could he want? Go on, Nellie. Can't make Father wait. He's very particular about people keeping appointments. Yes, he is. Unlike you, dearest Mel. Got him. What's got her in such a foul mood? Oh, thank goodness for small miracles. Nellie just won't seem to take me at my word lately. You mustn't be so harsh on her. She is your one and only darling little sister. You're right, but still, she's taken it a bit too far of late. Oh, I'm not so sure. She does not seem to be behaving any differently to me. Am I the one acting differently, then? Oh, enough about that. Can I ask you a favor? Me, what can I do for you? I was thinking... Physically, Mel was undeniably a young man, but the smirk that crossed his lips as he schemed gave his face the sweet look of a little boy. Perhaps that was simply part of his charm, and it was not the age disparity but his character that made his smile so heartwarming. What did he ask of me? You shall find out soon enough. It's cloudy. Thank goodness for that, too. That would be even better if it were even darker out. I believe the textile shop is around here. Hey there. Lord Mel, fancy meeting you here. Yeah, what a surprise. So, what do you say we take this chance to go for a little walk? Since you're sensitive to sunlight, we can keep our eyes out for shadowy areas as we go. And if you feel unwell, just let me know. I was sent out on an errand. Don't worry about that. Come on, follow me. Sorry, it actually wasn't an accident that we crossed paths. I planned this out ahead of time, have you sent out on a fake errand. Feels like I'm always on alert back at the mansion. Haha, can't relax in my own house. It's actually kind of funny. Sorry, that was inappropriate of me. I just thought since the sun's mostly blocked out, it would be alright if, I'm feeling just fine. Of course, I get her out of the house and I can't even think of anything to say. Hey, yes? Have you, settled into your life at the mansion? I have. Everyone has been such a great, big help. That's, good to hear. Indeed. But, so, yes? Nellie told me she had you help redecorate a room some time back. Yes, that was shortly after I arrived. What of it? Yeah, that day Nellie told me that you don't... Never mind, sorry, it's not important. It is important, but I can't just ask her how she feels about me. That'd make it sound like I think it sounds like I do, don't I? Lord Mel? Oh, sorry, I had something on my mind. Looks like it might rain again today. The weather usually gets better as summer approaches, but not worse like it has been. It would be a heavy storm, though. No? The wind is too gentle. You could tell from that. Vaguely, but yes. Oh, that's impressive. I often leave the house unprepared, only to find myself sloshing back in the rain. Heh. Water noises. You laugh a lot more than you used to. Do I? Yeah, and I like that. You look better with a smile on your face. Smile shoots Lady Nellie much more than I. What? Her smile and your smile are completely different. Also, a smile suits you as well, Lord Mel. Do you really think so? What am I supposed to do in the face of a smile like that? So, yes? Knowing her, if I ask if I'm imposing, she'll say no without hesitation. Trying to cover myself isn't gonna get me anywhere. Hold on a second. I'm able to get you those flowers like I promised. There was a single white rose blooming in the garden. I was planning to give it to you, but it disappeared before I had the chance. So, I'd like you to have this. It's not real rose, but it won't wilt either. Mel was holding an ornamental white rose. It was an impressively detailed replica of the real thing, crafted by an incredibly skilled artisan hand. It was, I imagine, made by the same craftsman with whom Mel had ordered Nellie's birthday necklace. The young man who had a handful of days earlier said he had no sweetheart had come in to commission a present for a girl. The master of the shop must have been quite surprised. Or perhaps it had given him a good laugh instead. For this moment that he had so desperately sought for time together with the white-haired girl. You, haven't asked her name still. Even in your dream, I'm sure, the name censored is her name. And that you can't fill it in of these, ghost memories because you haven't asked, because you're a dingo. My apologies, I cannot accept this. Is the design not to your liking? No, I just... If you're concerned about how much I paid for it, don't be. I just want you to have it, and that's all. Please. Why are you so kind to me? Why? Because... I'm sorry, I can't accept it. A clear glint of frustrated panic is visible in her red eyes. There is not a girl in the world whose heart would not flutter at the sight of a sparkling rose accessory. But her reaction is far from delight. As a matter of fact, there were traces of fear and apprehension in her countenance. I beg your pardon. Hold on! With a look of distress on her face, the white-haired girl made to run off, but Mel grabbed her arm by the nick of time. At least tell me why. Is it because you dislike me? I never said that. I'm... Something's wrong with me. From the day you arrived in the mansion, it's like I haven't been myself. I've been strangely aflutter ever since then. Whenever I try to study or I try to read, none of it sticks. Just looking at the pages of text, tracing rows of letters only for them to disappear as soon as I look away. It's all because of you. I truly am sorry. Please, don't be any more generous than you already have. When I'm with you, my willpower wavers. What do you mean by that? I'm so sorry. Oh, different animation sprite. Wait. Mel's grip loosened for a moment, allowing her to slip free and dart off like a gust of wind, not giving him a chance to stop her a second time. The dumbfounded flaxen-haired boy stood frozen in place, left all by himself. The breeze with which the white-haired girl had called gentle earlier felt faintly chilly, as if mocking him. Looks like she's even less fond of me than I thought. God, I'm crying. I'm pathetic. Huh? Well, if it isn't Mel, what might you be? Are you crying? I'm so pitiful. Sorry you had to see this. Nothing of it. Passed by a girl just a few moments ago. She appeared to be rather distressed as well. Did something happen between the two of you? I wasn't good enough, it seems. Not good enough? That was the new maid I was telling you about. I was, like you said, Father, I was keen of her, quite. Enough to bring me to tears like a miserable child. But she rejected me. I don't even have what it takes to be a stand-in prince. Mel. I apologize complaining to you about this. I'm completely hopeless. Mel. Please don't try to cheer me up. I don't need any sympathy. No, Mel, listen to me. What? I've seen that girl before. What do you mean? But, you said she was a servant at your house, right? In which case... Yes, she is. Please tell me, Father, where did you see her? Why must you be so evasive? It was probably someone else. Someone else? You're saying you mistook someone who stands out as much as her? Father. She... and a man, who I assume is her father, paid a visit to the church once. They came asking for food, their clothes in tatters. The two were emaciated. I don't think they were eating daily. What? Wait a minute, are you saying... She's a beggar? But Father said she came from an esteemed house. Which is why I say I must be mistaken, Mel. She has a singular aspect, but it's possible there's another girl who looks similar. Deep down, though, the priest surely believed the opposite. And so he said sternly, like a teacher to people, "But you must be absolutely certain, Mel, understood? You cannot proceed without knowing her ancestry." May I visit the church, Father? By all means. In the back of Mel's mind, a vision of the night storm, the night the white-haired girl arrived at the mansion, was surely replaying. She had been wearing little more than rags and covered in grime, hardly the appearance of a respectable young lady of class. Have I been putting her through unnecessary stress? She actually turns out to be nameless, to be rankless. No matter where she comes from, my heart is decided. I will not fool myself in how I feel any longer. No, I cannot fool myself. But how does she feel? What will everyone else think? I have to find out why she was welcomed into our house. I'll ask Mother or Father. Now, if for some reason they don't know she isn't aristocratic, I'm better off not saying anything. But if they don't, then does that mean she's been lying to us and to them? I have to find out. This time I must get answers. To the secret of my ancestry of Castle Griffinstein. No, absolutely not. You come back and the first thing you say is that? I hate you, Father. I will not stand for this. Why? Why would he just suddenly throw that on me? He didn't even ask for my opinion. No, I won't do it. I'm fine the way things are. I'm just fine. Dearest Mel, I need your help. I don't want to get married. I mean, I'm assuming it's been like a month, maybe. do be moving slowly. Although they did say that, like, if he got the rose custom made, that it took a couple months in advance, so maybe it's been more. Maybe it's been like 4 months since the party. This may seem sudden, but I confess I made a grave mistake. My transgression is that I was unable to completely predict where this path we were traveling led. My hands are full dealing with my immediate day-to-day tasks. Could do not but pray there was happiness waiting in the future. Happiness for everyone who lived within Rose Manor. But I am but a mere maid. There are limits to what I'm allowed to do. Furthermore, it was not my place to offer my hand. Roads, such as the one we were following, have a way of diverging with little warning. Ah. Did you fall asleep? Nice, still here. Okay. Wob wob wob. If you do not turn the wheel exactly right at those sudden forks, you may end up somewhere horribly off course. I was well aware of that fact, which is why I thought that what I did was for the best. It's happening again. I made sure the door was closed, but I sensed someone standing there. Someone watching me. Footsteps. They're looking down at me. I want to open my eyes, but I can't do it. Curses. You're just gonna leave without doing anything, aren't you? Then hurry up and get out of here. Free me from this torture. No, tonight they're on my bed now, looking down on me. My neck. What? I can't speak, I can't move. These cold fingers, this soft breath. What? Why? I can move my body, but that's not important right now. Oh, hi. You smell of roses, the scent of a world far removed from ours. He made to gasp at the sight before him, only to realize he could not. The pressure of her cold fingertips wrapped around his throat robbed him entirely of the ability to breathe. Why? He suddenly mouthed the word for a moment, at least. Her melancholic ruby eyes were focused wholly on the flaxen-haired young man. In them glowed a faint flicker of willpower and a continuously burning agitation that roused her to action. I told you to stop being so kind to me. Why? It will be over soon. Please don't make any noise. Why? To put an end to this family, you are my only... Why? Are you shaking? What? Upon hearing Mel's words, the strength drained from her slender fingers. He had not been questioning why she would do such a thing. There was, of course, a trace of bewilderment visible in his eyes. But he did not shout, nor did he tremble in fear. He instead expressed concern for the young woman, who looked like a cornered rabbit. I'm not shaking. You are, I could see it. As he slowly regained his breath, Mel's voice grew grew clearer. Conversely, the red-eyed girl's grew progressively more faint and raspy. You're not doing this because you genuinely want to. There's some other reason. This is what I desire. I've been to my room before. You have. Sorry. Haha. Well, I'll be damned. Tell me, why are you shaking? You're not putting any pressure on my neck. Why haven't you run? Because I cannot fathom why you would do this, so I'm not afraid. Do you hate me so deeply you want me dead? Do you despise me to the point where you're willing to take my life with your own hand? No, I don't. See? Like I said, there's another reason. If it isn't because you detest me, then tell me, why is it? I'm sorry, I will leave your room now. I will do my best not to bother you any further. So please forget anything ever happened. Do you think I'm just gonna say okay and let you go? Why can't you tell me the reason? I'm sorry. Alright, then I'll try and guess. What? It has something to do with your lineage. You're troubled by it somehow, am I right? I thought so. How do you know about that? The priest at the church told me he had seen you before. He also told me a little about your origin. But that's all I know. The only difference between us is social rank. I don't know what would cause you to do this. Please tell me who you really are. Tell me why you came to this mansion, and why Father allowed you to be a maid. I haven't said anything to Mother or Father. If you're hiding the truth from them, they still don't know. But I want to. I won't get mad at you or have you punished. I'll even swear to God if you'd like. I want to be the prince who whisks you away. I want to be the prince who rescued the girl from the dark mansion and showed her the world. I know I'm not that dependable, but I want to help you. Why do you show me such compassion? Why do you treat me like this? I have my hand around your neck. Why? I thought it would be obvious. Or have I not expressed myself well enough? I love you. Every time you push me away, it crushes me. I didn't even know my heart could feel such distress. If you dislike me and I don't want to be with me, then, well, I'll just have to live with that. As much as it may hurt. But if you have some other reason, some weight on your shoulders that you can't share with anyone else, tell me. I want to help you. There are other options. Things we could do about your... No, that's not it, huh? I tried to hate you so many times. So yes, there's more to it than just social status. But I can't do it. I couldn't make myself do it. What do you mean? I had so many chances, but I couldn't do anything. She spoke in a stifled voice, as if every word had to fight to escape her lips. She appeared so fragile, so precarious, looking down on him that seemed as though if a gust of wind were to whisk through the room, it would blow her away completely. Pale fingers were trembling, like she had to squeeze them again, and failed. However, her hand did not pull away from his still slender neck. Her hand so cold. He did not challenge her, but simply kept his eyes affixed to hers, as if carefully watching to see how she would do next. Say it as many times as I must, I love you. And I wouldn't be able to accept losing you without knowing anything. So please tell me the reason. I'll see to it you're taken care of. Those are the words of a man of means, Lord Mal, someone blessed enough to have pity for others. You are a foolish young man. You know nothing. But the greatest fool of all is myself. If you agree to punish me, I will talk. Tell me. Her long white hair and her soft flaxen hair touched it for just the briefest moment, peered in the darkness as though they had fused together. The white-haired girl had finally gathered the courage and began to slowly tell her tale. On the night of the storm, I paid a visit to Rose Manor, this mansion. My father and I were always on the move, traveling across the land by foot, so it was only recently that we heard rumors of Rose Manor. There were several reasons we couldn't stay in one place. First is my unusual appearance. People often find the color of my skin or eyes disconcerting. So after living in one place long enough, unsettling rumors would begin to spread and force us to leave. Another reason was my father's line of work. He painted pictures for a living, but he had trouble finding a patron, so he had to work day to day. When he was no longer able to find work in the city, he would move. We were birds that migrated with a flock, from the flock. When we arrived at this town, my father was exhausted and weak. That's when we learned of Rose Manor, the family who dwelled within it. Rhodes is a name my father could never forget. He was long ago a painter in the service of the Rhodes family. Hold on. Your father was an artist here? Yes. It was before I was born, so you probably don't remember, Lord Mal. So you know about us before coming here. For long I remember, I've known the name Rhodes. My father was chased from your house, just because they didn't like something you painted. Having failed the Rhodes family, no one else would become his patron. Just as good a reputation spreads, so too does a bad one. Branded once as a failure, no one would ever take you again. Your nobles throw you parties and spread your gossip about this painter or that sculpture. The rose he tried to give me is an example of that. Certainly crafted with skill, but the jeweler is known only because some aristocrats spoke highly of him. My father's paintings were no less skillful. His was a talent that could not easily be imitated, but no one would be willing to separate the art from the artist. The Rhodes family stole everything from my father. But even thrown out onto the street, his only skill was painting. That was all he could do to earn a living. What little money we had for food, he gave to me. Did everything he could to ensure my survival, even at the expense of his own well-being. My father passed away in this town. Until his last breath, he was only ever concerned about me. He held me in his arm and ran his fingers through my hair, an apologetic look on his face. If I had a normal appearance, I'm sure life would have been much easier. He was always telling me how sorry he was for making life so hard, even though it's not his fault I look like this. I disdained the Rhodes family for putting my father through such hardship. I imagined you were still living in decadence, acting as though nothing had ever happened. No, you wouldn't even care about the fate of one simple painter. Our lives meant nothing to you, and so I sought to bring misfortune upon you. And that's why you tried to kill me. In truth, I wanted to take the master's life, but your father spent so much time outside the mansion. And so... You're right. If they lost me, I would put my family in a very difficult position. That's the whole of my tale. You now know about my father and how I feel about you. Having told you of the blackness in my heart, I cannot go on living like nothing has changed. Please give me punishment. Why? Why would you have me put the one I love through any more misery? I am not fit for your affection. Not only because I am an aristocrat, but because every time I spoke with you, I did so holding this darkness in my heart. Does that not unnerve you? In the end, it was my family's actions that caused you so much suffering. Well, that your father were still alive, perhaps I could have done something. I'm sorry. Besides, you hesitated. You didn't actually kill me. What am I even to punish you for? As you said, you had countless opportunities, but you could not bring yourself to do it. Tell me, why couldn't you kill me? It's because I given you enough reason to have even the slightest bit of interest in me. Nothing was as I envisioned it. What? I assume the residents of Rose Manor were cold people who believed that wealth and rank mattered above all. But on the night of the storm, the mistress was the first to extend a hand to me. I arrived at the mansion disguised as a beggar. Actually, the disguise is not the right word, as many nights I only survived on the generosity of others. Mistress did not send me away when she saw me. Quite the opposite. She took me in as a servant. So that was mother's doing. Could scarcely believe she would invite a stranger into her house, that she would treat a stranger with such compassion. Thought perhaps she knew who my father was. But I'd never met any of you before, so she simply must be that kind-hearted a woman. And the mistress continued to treat me with kindness, despite my disquieting appearance and the darkness in my heart. Time began to grow less and less sure of myself. Was that what I meant to do truly right? Were the things I felt truly justified? But it was certain the fact that my father was here, and that he had been chased out. So I decided I should take your life to put an end to everything before I wavered any further. And then... You were too kind to me. It's all your fault. Because you laugh with such affection, because you gave me smiles like that, because you say the things you say. I'm sorry. No, don't apologize. I'm so happy to hear that. Despite the unusual circumstance. Please don't say you want to leave. Don't ask you to punish you. I couldn't do anything for your father, but at least allow me to do something for the daughter he's so clearly cared for so dearly. You're far too kind-hearted. I'll be happier with you around. You could become a real aristocrat. Huh? There are families that would be willing to adopt you, especially knowing it would bring them ties to the Rhode Island family in the near future. Are you saying, as long as you're okay with that, of course? I don't understand. How can you possibly say that? I have my hand around your neck even as we speak. It seems reasonable enough to me. I'm desperately looking for some way to not have to lose you. But I couldn't. I don't have any etiquette or social customs. How could I? You could learn all that. You're pretty, naturally graceful. You'll do just fine. Uh-oh. You're such an aristocrat, Lord Mal. What? The way you come up with compliments so easily? Only for you. Nellie says my poetry has much charm as a dissertation. I don't understand theater, but it puts me to sleep. You laughed, thank goodness. Keep smiling, you don't have to stop. Smile on your face is a smile on mine. No matter how deeply the darkness has taken root in your heart, it can always be removed. I believe people are capable of forging their own futures. What do you say we go to theater sometime? I promise I won't sleep through it. At the private theater, we can get seats at the far end of the second floor, so we don't have to stand. They'd be pretty lavish seats, and it would give you a chance to experience the noble life. But please don't be shy. I could have clothes prepared for you. I'll ask one of the maids who can keep a secret. Say, the one with black hair. She kinda scares me though, ha ha ha. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. How could you show such compassion to me? Try to inflict harm upon you. Am I allowed to feel such joy? For every day you suffered a day of happiness. That's how it has to be. So stand by my side. He softly whispered the girl's name. Well, unknown still. Several long moments her lips trembled in trepidation, but in time she squeezed them together and made a smile. Wrapped his arms around her unbelievably slender, frail frame, holding her tight in an affectionate embrace. Mel approached me the next day. He explained to me the course of the events and then asked me to dress her up more beautifully than any other noble girl had ever been. She was already a pretty girl, so even without much effort on my part, simply put her in a dress. She radiated beauty. I was quite partial to her smile, so I agreed to help, thinking that if I would lead to their happiness, I could ask for anything more. Never anticipated what would happen next, though. Perhaps my hopes were unreasonable after all. Well, what happened? Loading screen. You're still holding up. Should we stop here? Alright. Now, Nelly, you love the theater, so don't look so cross. Oh no, it's Arthur. Ew. Huh. Nelly was with a man other than her brother that evening, a rare sight indeed. She was quite clearly in a foul mood. I would not stand for this, that I should have to marry a man as disagreeable as Arthur. It's unthinkable. The young man at her side was Nell's fiancé selected by her parents. On any other occasion, she would have snubbed an invitation from any man who was not Mel, but she had little say. She was, for lack of a better word, forced to go out with him. And oh, how furious she fought against it. Shoved aside the Abigail trying to fasten her corset, locked herself in a room, and sobbed quite some time. Required the combined efforts of several of us to get her ready and out the door for a date. Come now, you should at least pretend you're enjoying yourself, or do you want people to think we don't get along? Do we get along? Well, I want to, for what it's worth. What it's worth to you is my name, not me. Are you really gonna be like that? I went out of my way to take you to your favorite play. The least you could do is be kinder to me. What was it called again? Romeo and Juliet? It's been running for 6 or 7 years now. A family like yours or mine could pay to have a brand new script written. So why should we have to see an old play at a theater full of commoners? Maybe private, but even so, I would rather just a show put on at my estate. Stop talking already. Why should I? Why should I have to marry someone like you? I've absolutely no desire to marry you. Whatever it takes, I will put a stop to this. I'll talk to father as many times as I must. Please don't make such a scene. It's shameful. There's people around. Remember, you represent your family. Besides, our families are hardly strangers to one another. Try as you might, I doubt you can get rid of me. No matter what you say, you can't break this engagement. You don't. Your parents gave you too much freedom, and look at the spoiled little girl you became of it. Goodness, you're quite the handful. Now get off your high horse. No, you're the one on a high horse, Nelly. You're gonna be my wife. You at least put effort into liking me. Bro, what the fuck? What happens when you take when I take you to social engagement and you act like this? It's shameful to both of us. It's coming from someone who used to call me Lady Nelly. What's your problem? When you chose to act like a lady, I'll gladly call you again. Like that. Goodness gracious. Put yourself in my shoes for a second. I have to marry a bratty little girl because it'll help my family. How dare you talk to me about that way? You're not a damn princess, open your eyes. You think talking to your father will get you out of this marriage? You're welcome to try. I doubt he'll have it, though. Otherwise, you can just go complain about it to your friends. Oh, that's right. As far as I'm aware, you don't have friends. Enough. As you wish. It's so frustrating. Why should I have to listen to this jerk mock me? I have Mel. I know. If Father won't listen to me, I'll ask Mel to talk to him. Mel will be able to convince him. Come on now, your favorite play's about to start. Maybe you should face forward. Joy while it lasts, you won't be talking down to me much longer. What? Is that... Wait, now to get back here. What's that damn child's problem? Didn't give her permission to leave. Father will sure to hear about this. I cannot have the roads making any more of a fool of me. You're fine, don't be shy. But so many people are looking at me. Haha, that's because you're gorgeous. No, it's because I look strange. I assure you that's not the case. It is true you have an unusual appearance. But right now, the unique color of your hair, your skin, and your eyes all serve to accentuate your beauty. You sound like a prince, Lord Mel. What? You think so? I mean, I did say I'd be a stand-in prince for you, but I think you're a wonderful prince, not just a stand-in. Which makes you my princess then. I don't... you're supposed to say yes I am here. You're gonna make me sad, haha. I guess I'll have to keep working on it until you submit. Ew, what the fuck? Oh hey, the play's about to start. What am I supposed to do? Doing? Nothing in particular. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Oh, but there's one thing. Yep. If I start dozing off, could you maybe wake me up? Ha. Ahaha. Dearest Mel. Nelly! Dearest Mel, what are you doing here? I asked her to join me. It's nothing to get worked up over. It is, it absolutely is. How many times did I tell you to come with me and you wouldn't? You don't even like theater, dearest Mel, and you brought her? You're right, I'm not expecting fond of plays, but I wanted her to see one. Why are you making such a big deal out of this, Nelly? She's not suitable for you. What? She isn't good enough for you. Why would you choose her? She's creepy and you have no idea where she came from. Don't talk about her like that, Nelly. But you don't even know who her family is. I do. What? Lord Mel? It's fine, you just stay quiet. Like the other maid, she comes from a respectable house. I looked into it. However, circumstances prevents me from telling you what house that is. No, you're lying. Can't be. She doesn't act like a lady. She likes etiquette, and you probably can't even dance. Expect me to believe someone like her is from a good house? Enough already, Nelly. Mel yelled at me. You have my word. You don't have to worry about her, so please stay out of this, Nelly. It isn't any of your business if I spend time with her, is it? But dearest Mel. You need to stop hanging all over me, Nelly, and find someone. Wait. What are you doing at the theater? Are you here alone? Oh yes, dearest Mel, about that. I have a favor to ask you. I've been waiting to talk to you about this since yesterday, but I haven't seen you at all. Settle down, Nelly, what is it? Father had me engaged without consulting me. And he picked Arthur, that disagreeable little... Oh, right, that. I already know. What? I heard about it from Father. That reminds me, you didn't show up at breakfast this morning. I see now. It's because of your engagement. Dearest Mel. Is that who you're here with today? In that case, you should go back to him rather than waste any more of our time with us. You knew I didn't want to get married, Mel, so why? Why didn't you talk Father out of it? Because it's your time, Nelly. If there's anyone else you'd rather be with, well then you can start persuading Father, but... You're the only prince for me, dear Mel. And a prince always grants his princess wish. Doesn't he? I just wanted to say you do that for me, dearest Mel. Lady Nelly. You stay out of this. It's all your fault. It's all because you showed up and played your little tricks on her. I warned you about this rat, dearest Mel. She's not suitable for... I told you. Enough already. Oh, shit! How much longer are you going to continue to act like a child? I cannot deal with you being a spoiled little girl, but how dare you be so derisive to someone else? I can deal with being a spoiled... Okay. Mel, hit me. Lord Mel! Go on, the show's about to start. People are giving us dirty looks. Return to your betrothed now. I'll apologize to him afterwards as well. You said you would always be by my side. Yep. Look, like a trough. That you would always be my prince. The time for make-believe is past, Nelly. And like she is awkwardly like, this is kind of fucked up. No, I refuse to believe it. I will not have it. Nelly. Goodness, that girl. Are you not going after her, Lord Mo? No, just let her go. The only place she has to go is home. I just wish she'd start acting a little more like an adult. Well, can't wait for her to be dead tomorrow. I imagine Lady Nelly simply, what? Nah, it wasn't my intention to go between you. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault we had an argument. But you two are so close. Well, yeah, we're siblings, but we're close. So we're close, nothing more. I do care about Nelly, and I enjoy spending time with her, but she's my sister, nothing more. Anyway, sorry for making a scene. Nah, I imagine she left her betrothed behind without saying anything, so I'm gonna go apologize to him. We have to keep up appearances. Stay here, I'll be right back. Very well. Sus. Master, what are your thoughts on this tale so far? Which of the siblings do you think was in the right, Master? The brother or the sister? Oh my, I apologize for the above question. Did I startle you? What do you think? Yes, I believe Mel was probably right. He was also surely happier than her. As Mel had anticipated, Nelly fled from the theater, leaving her fiancé behind. Forced her way into a carriage stopped outside, probably one from a different nobleman, and ordered it to take her home. Mel's assumption was correct. The only place she had to return was the mansion. The sun was beginning to set, and as a young lady, she could not simply wander around town. Nor did she have any acquaintances to take her in. Her world was, in essence, composed of two elements, her brother and the Rose Garden. They were the light of her life at Rose Manor. She lived a very isolated existence. Meh. When she escaped back home, Nelly went straight to her room, locked the door, and began sobbing. The waves of her sorrow came crashing effortlessly through over the leaves. The levees. Tears streamed through the cracked walls of the dams, blocking her tear ducts. Why won't you help me, Mel? Won't you take my side? The decor in her room simply blurred through her damp eyes. Memories of the day she had redecorated played back in her mind with crystal clarity. She told me she had no feelings for you! That liar! She let her emotions run wild, breaking glass craftwork, silver plates designed by famous foreign artisans, flower vases, all that sort. It's as though a beast had been set loose in her bedchamber. The vase she tossed, shattering against a painting hanging on the wall, spraying water, porcelain, and roses in every direction. It was the portrait she adored dearly of her and her brother. And in what appeared like a metaphor for her life, the frame fell off its mounting and came crashing to the floor. Ellie darted over and scooped it up. The frame had broken, but the painting inside was unharmed. Two smiling children were still the very image of happiness, inseparable siblings gently holding one another's hand. My princess no more. Though in her present state of mind, the image of happiness brought her nothing but misery. And the worse she felt, the more frustrated she grew at the smiling girl and kind boy of their past. The princess is no more either. You're not a princess anymore, Nelly. Some other woman has taken your place. I trusted you, Mel. I believed you would always be there for me. This painting is nothing but a lie. That's not the real Mel. That's not the real me. It's all a big fat lie. A lie. I wish this painting never existed. That it was never made. That I had never had a brother. This painting. In a fit of emotional distress, she scratched feverishly at the painting she once considered precious. Put more force into her fingers than she, or perhaps anyone, might have imagined she could. Flakes of paint began falling from the canvas in time she noticed something peculiar. Huh? Is this writing? Something's hidden beneath the paint. Just a bit more. A date? Why would that be hidden? What could it be for? Completed. Completed May 1587. 1587. Read aloud the faded and scratched up handwriting. Doesn't this place take place, what, 1607, and then, like, 4 years in the future past that or something. What is this? How could this have been painted 16 years ago? I wasn't even born then. And Mel would have just been a baby. Is this not me? And is this not Mel? Still more writing. It's done by a rapid pounding heart, nearly furiously scratched at the painting. Even as her clean pink fingernails were soiled by fragments of paint and blood, she did not stop. She was so overwhelmed by trepidation that she could not stop. She had a horrible premonition that something was about to happen. Something indescribable, incomprehensible. This is how I envisioned your son and our unborn daughter might look several years from now. Your son and our unborn daughter? So this is a painting of the future. That it really is of me and Mel. No use your head, stupid. I'm only 14. 16 years ago I would not have been inside Mother. But then who is this? Who is holding Mel's hand? Who is the one with my brother? More there has to be. Found it. There's more writing. I have to know what this is. Calm down. Nothing to get worked up about. I'm sure it's nothing. Calm down and read. There's nothing to worry about. If our unborn child... This is what the writing on the painting said. Alright. If our unborn child does not have your hair color, then you will probably not be able to take her in as your own. I will be punished and my life made miserable. And so I pray that this child might have flaxen hair. Though as it is sin to wish she has in her a trace of me, I do hope it is a girl. What am I reading? I don't get it. Someone tell me, what does this mean? Painting from 16 years ago, hair color, sin. I do hope it is a girl. So does that mean the painter and the mom? So that makes her like the half-sister? So it was hidden? It's just still... Yes? It's Nelly. Let me in. Lady Nelly? Oh, you changed out of your dress. That's a shame. It looked nice on you. Hehehe. Really did look so nice. Almost like you were a princess. Lady Nelly? Say, I got a question for you. You mind? By all means. What color hair did your father have? I beg your pardon? Did you not hear me? Should I repeat the question? No. I assumed it would be about Lord Mel. I'm just so curious about where you got that white color from. My father was more tan than white, so I didn't hear my paleness from anyone. I asked about your father's hair color. But why would you want it? There's no reason you can't tell me, is there? My father had white hair, but that was simply because he was an older man. I did not think he was born with it. Ha. Ha ha. Lady Nelly. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Hee hee. Hey, guess what I figured it out? I figured it all out. Haha, it was so simple. There's only one difference between you and me. Thing that Mel fell for is... What? Why do you have those? No, stay back. Well, that's scissors. Or a knife. Probably a knife. Spooky. We finally reached this point in the tale, Master. If your memory's been refreshed, then we can return to the mansion immediately. Alright, very well then. If you insist, we shall proceed with the story. It was a stormy night, much like the one the white-haired girl had first arrived on. It was quite quiet as a crypt in the mansion, not a single light visible in the halls. The house sat in wait for the sun to peek up over the horizon. The darkness is, generally speaking, something that rushes by like a gust of wind as we sleep. The flaxen-haired young man, too, lay in bed, pale blue moonlight sporadically streaming through the gaps in the drawn velvet curtains as he attempted to submit to slumber. He was having difficulty drifting off, but as time trickled onwards, he drew closer and closer to the arms of Morpheus. Suddenly you sense a presence in the room, much like the one from those nights weeks earlier. Some there? Answer. A slender feminine finger pressed gently against his lips. There's no hostility in the motion, but rather a great deal of affection. The silhouette faintly, visibly in the dark room, was the same as that night. A flash of lightning shone through the drawn curtains, illuminating her beautiful white hair. Several silky locks spilled over her shoulders and brushed against Mel's cheeks. A couple of soft puffs of air tickled his face as though she was silently laughing. He assumed her finger held against his lip were a way of telling him to stay quiet. She began to slowly, delicately trace the outline of his mouth, moving down his cheek and towards his jawline, as if over porcelain. You're, rather forward than I remember. I suppose you were quite daring. This isn't the first time you've sneaked into my bedchamber. Well, that sure is a thing to drop. The boy said in an attempt to conceal surprise. Do you remember the night she came to exact revenge on him for her father? Indeed, she had proven herself a rather bold girl once already. It's dark, I can see you very well. Why don't I light a lamp or something? Perhaps we could open the... Before he could finish, the white-haired girl sealed his lips with her own. In the near total darkness in a bedchamber, the two shadows appeared one. They remained that way for several minutes. Their kiss was innocent, no more than pressing together two pairs of lips. At the same time, the white-haired girl lovingly ran her fingertips across his skin. Their lips separated. Mel gasped for air. It seemed he had been holding his breath. Slightly embarrassed at himself, he said, "Oh, dearest Mel." Spooky. Nothing. He could not speak. The silhouette hanging above him was certainly the white-haired girl's. Or was it? Because his next words were, "Get off me." He reflexively shoved the girl straddling him aside. She rolled off the bed, landing on the cold floor, but slowly, gradually crawling her way back towards him. That wasn't very nice. Veiled in darkness, she slowly lifted her head, and then there was another flash of lightning. The heavy fabric of the curtains rustled, bolts of light streaming through the gaps. Her flaxen irises glimmered, though in the bluish-white light they took a twinge of almost golden. No need to be so rough. This isn't the first time she's visited your bedchamber, is it, Mel? Or did I not kiss you the same way? Tell me, how does she run her fingers across your skin? What does she do when she nuzzles up to you? Stop. Stop this madness, Nelly. Why would you do this? Because you like white hair, don't you, Mel? You like white hair, which is why you fell for her, isn't it? So if I have white hair, you'll fall for me too. Then I can be your princess again, dearest Mel. What are you even talking about? Cannot escape from her. From his sister's piercing gaze. Why? What happened? How could you... Questions crashed in the young man's mind like a waves in a stormy sea. But none of them found answers. They simply caused further ones. Your hair? What happened to your hair? How did you get that color? Oh, this. Heh. You like my wig? But as soon as the words left her mouth, Mel was in motion, propelled by pure instinct. He clenched Nellie's shoulders tight enough to dig his fingers into her flesh. You're hurting me, Mel. What did you do to her? Tell me, what did you do? I made her leave. It's a perfectly reasonable decision. She was obviously not nobility, and thus hardly fit for to be part of this household. There's no need to worry, Mel. I'm here to take her place. You sound like a mad woman. It doesn't matter if she was of noble blood or not. She promised she would be by my side. So why? How could you do that to her? I promised you that long before she ever did. And I love you far more than she did, Mel. Have you lost your mind? You're not making any sense. Where's she now? What is she doing? It's always her with you. What more could you want from me? Tell me, what does she have that I don't? What do I have to do to get you focused on me and only me? We're siblings. Don't you understand what you're doing? Oh, I understand quite well. Far better than you do, dearest Mel. I even know what a former queen was executed for it. But if we don't get caught, there's no problem. Nellie, are you saying you've always felt this way about me? Oh my, you didn't notice, dearest Mel? Truly hard dense one. I guess romance just isn't your strong suit. But you've noticed now, haven't you? You know exactly how I feel about you, right? Quit it. Enough. Don't say anything else. Stop having these insane feelings for me. It's disgusting. Heh. Hee hee hee. What are you laughing about? Poor Mel, content in your complete ignorance. Alright, I'll tell you everything. Mel, you can only love blood-related women. Got him. Huh? His cackling sister appeared to him like some kind of inhuman life form. Her actions and incomprehensible exclamations slowly drained him of his strength. What kind of deranged nonsense is that? I love her. She's your sister, Mel. Ha, very funny, haha. How far would your mind have gone, Nellie? Poor Mel. Do you honestly know nothing? Say that her father was a painting? A painter? A painting? He painted pictures for a living. What of it? For a time, her father painted for our family. Seen the picture before, dear Mel. The one hanging in my room, the two of us. That was painted by her father. He did a good job, didn't he? Kept asking and asking until you finally agreed to hold my hand. And how'd you feel about that? You were rather embarrassed, weren't you? Do you remember that day, dear Mel? You couldn't possibly remember it, but there's a chance you might remember this. Before we moved to the mansion, we had a painter with white hair. I don't remember such a thing. He was long ago. Painter in service to the Rose family. But that painter did something very, very bad, and because of that he couldn't repaint a part of our household. Do you know what he did, Mel? He lay with Mother. My father was chased from your house. If the child had been born with flaxen hair, then the painter would not have been thrown out. The baby would have been accepted as part of the family. But that wasn't how it turned out. The child had white hair. She didn't look at all like she carried Road family blood. But see, Mother had me. That I'm here is all the proof you need. The girl born 16 years ago didn't have flaxen hair. You're talking total nonsense. What proof do you have? You want to see? I'll gladly show you. The artist left a message in the painting in my room. Tell me, am I truly wrong? What did the girl tell you? You're lying. Part of it's a lie, Mel. Everything I'm telling you is the truth. Why don't you go ask Mother? I'm sure she would throw quite a fit. Mother wouldn't. The mistress did not send me away when she saw me. Quite the opposite, she took me in as a servant. Never made sense to me. Why would she hire a maid she knew nothing about? Someone who just showed up at the door one day. When I asked Mother to make her my maid, she stubbornly refused. From a good house, don't make me laugh. If you're really nobility, she would have given us her name. Mother was so desperate to cover up her mistake. Haha. That doesn't make any sense. I don't believe a word you're saying. That could possibly be true. Wouldn't it be nice if you could bury your head in the sand? But Mel, feigning ignorance is a sin. No, I refuse to believe it. Not a chance in hell. You just don't understand anything. How I feel, how much I've suffered. Do you have any idea how long I loved you? Knowing that you would never accept my affection? But then, fancy that. You fell in love with your half-sister. Then I should qualify for your love too. Shouldn't I, Mel? Oh, they actually voiced that one. Ah ha 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 ha. Stop it, enough, shut your mouth. Not another word. I don't believe any of this. Mel, ha ha ha. I know you'll never love me. I know there's nowhere for me to run. Say, when we were kids, was that really me? Was I really by your side, Mel? The whole truth, I was never. Never once did I get to be your princess. Not even once. Mogaes. Dearest Mel, everyone just loves to dote on me. They're always telling me how pretty I am. Mother does, father does. All the maids do. I can do anything I want. So for me, acting like a spoiled child is the only form of rebellion I have. I don't have the kind of freedom you do, Mel. I'm just a doll for the family to play with. When I have visitors, it's only ever for show, so it's not my fault that I don't have any friends. Dearest Mel, you're the only one who ever cared about me more than anything in the world. Dearest Mel, I always knew how I would react if you fell in love. I would cry my eyes out, I would envy her to death, I would get angry as a bull. But eventually I would have given up. I know I could never have it my way after all. My feelings would never bear fruit. So why did she have to be your sister? Tell me why. Monkey ears. And we're back in time. Well, I could stop here for now. It was incest the whole time. Alright, since you're coherent enough to make that comment, I guess I'll try to finish this. I assume because we're back to there as kids that this is the end. She called it immediately. Your eyes will go bad if you go staring at books too long. This will be fine, Nelly. It's not like I'm reading 24 hours a day. No, that's not good enough. Your eyes go bad, dear Smile. You won't be able to see me anymore. You worry too much. I can see you fine well, my princess. Your hair glimmering like the sun and your beautiful smile. I can see you clear as the day, and that'll never change. Hehehe. Plus, the skies are clear today, so even more radiant than usual. You know this is my favorite season. Winter's cold, and there's so much rain, I can't stand it. But as it gets close to my birthday, the clouds go away. I just adore the sun. I guess it's almost your birthday, isn't it? Have you decided what you're gonna ask Father for? Not yet. I want pretty dolls and shoes with sparkling gems. I also want a pretty dress, like the one Mother wears. Haha. A list is asking a bit too much even for Father. But dearest Mel. Well, I already have what I want the most. So the truth is, as long as I have that, I don't need anything else. And what would that be? The hairpin they brought for you the other day? Or maybe the song they had written for you last year? None of that, dearest Mel. Then what could it be? Now I'm really curious. What is so valuable to you? That's the secret. Girls have so many secrets, I just don't know what to do. Hee hee hee. Say, dearest Mel, would you run your fingers through my hair? Just a little bit? What's gotten into you, Nelly? Why are you so hungry for attention all of a sudden? Please, dearest Mel. Oh, Nelly, what am I gonna do with you? Come over here. Well, it's slowly getting bloodier in the back. And more random flashes of red. Hee hee hee. I wonder if she's running her own hands through her hair in spookiness. And I want to sit on your lap. Yes, yes, as you wish, my beautiful, beautiful little princess. Say, dearest Mel. What is it this time, Nelly? Right now, I'm so incredibly happy. Happy. Oh, and out of curiosity, who was it that you really cared about so much? Oh. We got a street. He's running, and it's raining. It's raining on top of the text, which is pretty neat. In a fevered frenzy, Mel fled from the mansion. Even in early summer, the night was cold. To make matters worse, raindrops pelted him from head to toe. But that caused him little discomfort, for a far greater maelstrom of pain rampaged through his breast. At night, the town took on a different appearance. No simply for lack of illumination, but the people within active within it as well. It was not a suitable place for a young aristocratic man to go wandering unattended. The darkness is not only the abode of devils, but of beggars, thieves, criminals, and all matters of things undesirable. But despite that, he continued to run, knowing not where he was head, simply went where his feet took him. And where he arrived was the church. Father! Father! God should be able to offer me counsel. Answer all my questions. About the painting, about her, about Nellie's feelings. Not her lies, but the truth. Please open up the door. Open the door. The door was locked. The priest showed no sign of responding. The sound of pouring rain drowned out everything else. His head drooped feebly. Looked like a helpless little calf who had wandered alone into dark, precarious mountain paths with no end in sight. Why won't anyone tell me the truth? All I want is for someone to tell me it's not true. Have I sinned? No, I didn't do anything. No, I didn't know anything. I didn't know. No, none of it's true, so I haven't done anything wrong. I'm not at fault, am I? Nevertheless, his sister claims, and her laughs continue to echo within his head. If he truly believed it to be false, he would have gone look at the painting. That he could nod was an indication that uncertainty had stronger grip on him. Fragmented images of a white-haired painter fluttered through the back of his mind, but he desperately shoved them aside. What good is the church? What good is theology? What good is God? Something moved near the boy, stood immediately behind him, and grasped his light dressing gown. He had been so consumed in his world that he had not noticed the person's presence until they were close enough to touch him. What? Who are you? Standing there was a beggar, dressed in tattered rags. Still begging at the church? The hooded beggar tentatively extended his line towards Mel, pleading for relief with sad, slender fingers. Were he a generous young man, Mel would have given the beggar something. Were he generous, of course. But Lord, get your filthy hands off me. I don't have a damn thing to give you right now. Don't you dare touch me. Suddenly, the beggar's hand turned upwards. My eyes catch the beggar's. Her hood fell back, revealing a hairless head. What? Why? A pair of gazing bitterly through a familiar distinctive glimmer at Mel. Red eyes. She immediately covered her face and turned to run. It can't be. The beggar that's always been here was... But you said yourself that it would not survive much longer. How could you be certain she was the same beggar? Wait for me. Perhaps as someone with such high social standing, all beggars appeared the same as you? Perhaps you wanted to believe your meager generosity made a difference, that you did something of value. I'll not say it wrong to think so. Wait for me. Chase after the fleeing girl. Though I shout for her to stop, she continues to run. The rain is so heavy, I'm afraid I might lose her. I'm terrified. But I didn't do anything wrong, did I? I'm begging you, please stop. I just want to talk. She comes to a stop at a corner. Please do not go around this corner. It's you, isn't it? I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing? What I said back there was terrible, and that I'm truly sorry. I didn't realize it was you. Please come back to me. You're concerned about social status, I'll figure something out. And Nellie's getting married off soon, too. Oh, yes, Nellie. Nellie did some horrible things to you. She lost her mind. She's talking nonsense. Don't worry, she'll be out of the picture soon enough. I'll make sure you're safe. Say something, please. Are you angry? You're angry, aren't you? I'm not angry at you. I'm not. Did you know everything? Did you come to our house aware of everything? What? Did you... Please tell me. The priest is around and everything Nellie says is a lie. You're the only one who will tell me it's not true. What are you... A relationship. I don't understand what you're saying. Ha ha. Ha, I see. You don't know. You don't know. It's for the best. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Nell's the only one who knows, and she'll be gone before long. Everything will be alright. Lord Mel. Oh, it'll be alright. Let's go back. I'll make sure you're never put in danger again. I'm begging you to stay with me. My appearance is no longer suitable to stand by your side. That's how unsightly I am back at the church, did you not? Hair can grow back. That's not a problem. Now I truly look the part of the hideous witch. But I'm to blame. It was a sin for me to find happiness in your kindness. What are you talking about? My sin was falling in love with you. Not what happened to Father, nor how we spent our days. There's no sin in that. We have our whole lives ahead of us, don't we? With enough time, this whole tragic mess will be behind us. Things will only get better from here. I'll be your prince, like the one who took the girl to see the outside world. So please, give me your hand. Come with me. Don't leave me alone. I need you by my side. Please. I extend my hand around the corner. I sense her hesitation beyond the bend. I'm begging you. I can't see what's on the other side, but a vision of her reaching out to my hand wells up in my mind. But that story never had an ending. What? She doesn't take my hand. I doubt the girl ever wrote the letter. She's not there when I turn the corner. Why? How do things end up like this? Where did I go wrong, God? Oh, hey, Mado. Your error was likely your kindness, thoughtlessly, haphazardly spreading your generosity. But that generosity came from your own desire to avoid pain, for your own happiness. What should I have done? Can't take this. Everyone was happy. Nellie used to laugh and smile. She once meant the world to me. How did things end up like this? It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. If you pretend nothing happened, then perhaps they can go on smiling in your head. But regardless, you must follow the path you tread. It's your path alone. The path you chose when in that moment you decide to run. Make the wrong choice in those moments and you find yourself on a road of ruin. Would have been better off knowing. Not knowing. Better off in the dark. I just wanted those tranquil days to last. They're supposed to last forever. At some point, your childhood must come to an end, and the ending may not be what you anticipated. Can't stand this world. You yearned for a world that would treat you with kindness. What should I do? What should I have done? Someone please help me. I should return now. If you spend too long out here, you're liable to catch cold. Now let us return to our own time. Alright. Time to teleport out. Bye, loser. That's the door, I assume. Creaky, creaky, creaky. Rose Manor. The crestfallen young man fade into the distance, and the decrepit double doors clack shut. Through the shattered glass, you can only see the ruins of a garden, not a single rose growing within. You have evidently returned from the past. The garden weeds grow taller than people, and you'll find it difficult to look at. A wolf howled in the distance. The children, the sea of rose, and the white-haired girl were nowhere to be found. You and the maid who call you master were the only people present. What happened to them next? Ah, master, you would know better than I. Cannot remember. Seems it's quite serious then. Worry not, my loyalty lies with you. The mansion's witness yet, more yet. Let us make our way to the second door. Your hand in hers, the maid guided you back to the kitchen and to the tea room. Her palms are cold, yet you feel as you felt as though you were clenching ice. You wish to know the truth no matter what may be hidden within. Or is it something you would be happier not knowing? Would you rather remain in the dark? Oh, not lock. Oh, is that so, huh? I wonder about their father. Yeah, the flaxen-haired sibling's father. You know, he knew about the white-haired girl. If he did, then perhaps he allowed her to stay because of how deeply he loved his wife. Maybe because he did not want people to find out about her. I expect he too experienced many different emotions. But those pages of his story remain untold. Parents likely had a turbulent tale as well, but theirs is not of consequence. To whom? I could not tell you. Through the entering hall. At some point, the fire in the fireplace had faded to embers, emphasizing the lack of light within the mansion. Maid took a candlestick and lit the cinders. Small flames illuminated her pale face. On Remy asked the maid about herself. About me, I am a maid devoted to your service, master, as I have said. What was that? You're interested in my name? You flatter me. I truly do appreciate the question, but you're more welcome to just simply call me the maid. Also, be making me happier to hear you say my name after you recalled who you are. Subtle smile rose to the maid's face. We had to lead to the first floor corridor. Still holding maid's hand, you passed through a full-length mirror. It reflected the warm candle of the light of the candle, which disappeared out of range shortly thereafter. Oh my, is something the matter? You come across something peculiar. The maid had not appeared in the mirror, though she was not the only one without a reflection. Aw yeah, double vampires. Alright, that's a place to end right before this, whatever this door is.